Hello there. Come closer out of the dark and sit around my campfire, why not? My name is of no great importance, but the stories I have to tell you are. Witness 4 lost souls journeying together through a grim world of perilous adventure. Be warned, though. These stories are not for the faint-hearted, and once you have heard them, you cannot unheard them. Bear witness to the Vagabond Chronicles. Holy shit.
Look out, you bloody fools! Oh no, they went over! Oh, by Grundy's beard. Run, you fools! God damn it!
Goodbye, Bondo. Though they never knew you at all, you had the sense to push them back while skeletons around you crawl. You crawl out of the villagers' homes, and they whisper into your brain. They sent you from the vagabonds that made you change your name. And it seems to me you lived your life like a character in the wind, never knowing who to smite next when the pain set in. They would have liked to know you better, but they were just kids. Your character ran now long before the legend never did.
The undead crows are everywhere. There. Oh, they got caught in a net. Oh, thank the gods. Oh no. Oh no.
Loneliness was too the toughest role you ever played. The vagabond called to arms. His pain was the price you paid. Even when you almost died, all the skellies still hounded you. All the players had to say, are you sure that's in the rules? And it seems to me you lived your life like a character in the wind, never knowing who to smite next when the pain set in. And they would have liked to know you better, but they were just kids. Your character ran now long before the legend ever did.
We had to distract the birds. Over here, you mangy bastards. Come and get Bondo, it's tasty and meaty. It's worked! By the gods, it's
Goodbye,
worked!
Bondo. Though they never knew you at all, you had the sense to push them back while skeletons around you crawl.
Oh no, it worked!
Goodbye, Bondo. From the young folk in the Twitch chat rows, who saw you as something more than just a no. And it seems to me you lived your life like a character in the wind, never knowing who to smite next when the pain set in. And they would like to know you better, they were just kids. Your character ran now long before your legend never did.
Run!
Your character ran now long before your legend never did.
Diamond Gaither, what in heaven's name is that?
Holy shit! Welcome. Holy shit. It's fucking on. Hi, everybody. Hi, folks. How you all doing? Welcome.
We're all just weeping into our hankies
Are
right
you
now.
all
That
weeping into your
song was
hankies?
beautiful.
Did I destroy the community a little bit?
It's emotional.
It was emotional.
It's been
I don't know
emotional.
what you
It's only
mean.
been on for 5 minutes. It's a lot.
Good. Well, mission accomplished. Hi, folks. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Vagabond Chronicles, a bi-monthly-ish role-play group that we've been doing for about 6 years until last year when we decided to go on the air and share it with everybody. Welcome, hardcore listeners. Welcome to new people in the community. And thank you very much to our mods and to our Discord mods as well, who may be in chat lurking and helping out. We appreciate you. And yeah, the song was a bit fucking full on. So before we talk about that, let's say hi to the people, the reason you're here, which is the Vagabonds. What's up, my Vagabonds? How you doing, folks?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey!
Hello.
So
Hello.
let's go around the table, as it were, metaphorically speaking, and introduce who's here and whom this week you're playing, because it's a little different this time, isn't it?
Did we explain that a little bit beforehand?
Should we?
Or...
I guess we should.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
So basically, I don't know if you remember, we've had a lot of split storylines. And if you remember, the last time on the main Vagabonds we did was the party got split, which of course is the number one cause of party death. Everybody dies if you split the party. So we split the party, which is fun. And Bondo and Mary Louise Butterford were the only two out of our Vagabond party to make it onto the dry land, the safety of dry land, at the top of the waterfall.
Didn't go over the waterfall.
Didn't go over the waterfall. Missed out on quite a ride, didn't they, sir?
Yeah.
So we are now following Bondo's side of the story. We did one episode which followed
Just made
Del,
it.
and we followed Rattigan.
Yeah, Dylan Rattigan meeting Quint last time.
And we met Quint last time, who's played by
Yeah,
Kim,
yeah,
who's
yeah.
also here today. So now we're going to follow Bondo's story and see what the fuck is up with that guy. So so the two Vagabonds that aren't playing Bondo, because it only takes one, contrary to popular belief, it only takes one person to play Bondo. He's a complicated onion. So let's get around the table, introduce to everybody who you're playing today, and of course, lastly but never leastly, Bondo Jim is here as well. So starting with initiative order, anybody's guess. Why not? Let's start with Clem. Clem, who are you playing today, sir?
I am playing a gentleman called Rutger Weiss. I think it's Weiss. W-E-I-S-S. I think it's
Weiss.
Deal's choice.
Vice.
Cool.
Vice. I think
Weiss.
Yeah.
Weiss.
Yeah.
I stand very much corrected. Cool. He's a bounty hunter, and he's found himself after visiting a town which appeared to explode around him on a riverbank.
Cool.
It would
All right.
seem.
Having gone down the river in a wooden escargot and managed to crawl his way to safety. Cool stuff. All right. Next up, we have probably not Bondo still because his initiative sucks. We also have Tom, who is playing this week.
Hello. This week I am playing the fabulous Madame McGinty, who is one of the matriarchs of the town that just blew up. She also commandeered a escargot quite comfortably, I should say, despite the fact that she is well into her 80s.
Yeah.
Anyway, she rather than being washed up, quite successfully steered her escargot.
She surfed that shit, didn't she?
She surfed that shit. For reasons that may become clear later on, but she actually was quite comfortable, and she's very just familiar with the escargots in general. And she just steered it to the bank, like where everyone else is kind of bedraggled and falling out of theirs and kind of relieved to go over the waterfall. She's just kind of steered in.
In fact, I'm going to say the blast that blew up most of Frugelhofen caused a massive tsunami wave that she basically surfed in.
I love it.
And she surfed across and landed on the shore.
I have no doubt. She looks, other than that, she is an 80-year-old lady. She's got a whole just plethora of cardigans and pennies on. She's very wrapped up in old lady. She's very in that point where she needs to be comfort over, everything else.
She's down with knitting, isn't she? In a
She's
fundamentally...
knitting as she surfs.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
knitting and surfing. That's where she's at.
Yeah.
Cool, very sound. All right, man.
Yeah.
Let's keep
That
the
is
rest of
Madam
it.
McGinty.
Yeah, Madam McGinty. That's Madam McGinty, thank you. So that is Tom's character. And lastly, but never leastly, we have Jim, who's playing Bondo. He's gone, isn't he?
Hello! How are you doing?
Classic. Wouldn't have it any other
It's right
way.
here.
Classic Jim. Hey, Jim.
Seriously, can you guys not hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can
It's
you
fine.
hear me?
You're
We
fine.
can hear you now. We
You can
couldn't
hear the IT specialist. It's
You
fine.
give me a conniption fit. He's gone. I'm going, hello! And you're like, all going,
Oh no, we didn't hear that. So
Oh,
Go on, Jim.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. In an attempt to be a little louder because my microphone always seems to have trouble at just the right moment. Right, I am playing Bondo as usual, the lovely, lovely, lovely gnome who cannot refer to himself in the first person due to cranial damage, amongst other things.
Indeed.
Anyway, on with the show.
That was pretty succinct. All right, so I guess without further ado, we should bam our way back into the reality of our game. Just for anybody that's new,
quickly.
Yeah.
Quick bit of community news, please.
Community news. Stop them. There you go. Very quick.
Quick. I just wanted to thank everyone. Hidden Arranged. It came out between this episode and last episode. A really, really lovely first anniversary piece of art for the Vagabonds, and there were loads of people involved in contributing to it. People did different characters. I just want to quickly give them a shout out. So there was Hidden did Teddy. This is up on our Instagram, by the way. It is Vagabond Chronic. Hidden did Teddy. Engelschwert, good old Engelschwert, did Cinta. Mayhem Illustration, awesome name, did Bondo. Ratigan was done by Telafo. Dell was done by Amandalore. And Shaney New did Lady Veronica and the background. So thank you to all of you. It's really beautiful and it was very touching to get it. That's it. On with the show.
On with the show. Cool. So without further ado, I guess, bam. Here we go, folks. So we are back by the river. This is the waterfall, very badly drawn last minute and all that. So this is the waterfall edge over here, which goes off, and there's a massive drop. It's about 150 feet or something crazy like that. It's very, 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 very bad to fall off this thing. Currently, literally this second as we speak, we have Dell, who I can't find there. There it is, there's Dell. Dell, we have Fleck, the oversized war dog, compensating perhaps. And we also have a undead chicken hat-wearing, wielding Ratigan with his two ferrets here, which just looks so cute. Look at that. So cute. I think I can actually zoom in on them. Such a good model. So good. Alright, that's Ratigan there. And they're literally teetering on the edge. Ratigan is sort of facing back over here. The dog is sort of in there as well. Something like this. Fuck you, dog. Alright, that's fine. And they're literally just sort of like twirling around just on the edge of the waterfall. And this is where we're going to pick up. We crash zoom from Ratigan's face, bam, like this, who is just giving a little tiny wave, like that, just waves, over to Bondo, who's just staring straight at him. Mary Louise Butterfield is holding his hand, and the rest of the gang are over here. So Bondo, you've managed to drag up the escargot. You see Dr. Dasher and Wavy Davy, who are standing by you, dragging their escargot a little bit away from the bank. Most people have just pretty much dumped them. Some of them have just been flying straight over, to be honest. The dwarves are there, the 3 that are remaining from the original 20. Some of the villagers there. You also see Alain Gascoigne and also Emmerich, who are managing to look after the grandfather character, who was a healer that you remember that you rescued from the Vernicus farm, and also I believe the wife is there and a couple of kids. Apart from that, it's just an assortment. In fact, most of these dwarves aren't here actually. Oh no, it's 2 of the dwarves that survived. That's it. These guys are out of here. Ziggy, we do not know where he is, and there's a whole bunch of just villagers. There are about maybe 30 in total that managed from the original 80. So there's quite a lot of villagers that got out, but really in comparison to the number of people that were originally in Frugelhofen, they got decimated. Like there's maybe only less than a third of the villagers left. So it's pretty devastating, and this was pretty hellish, this flight. On the other riverbanks, either side of you, behind you, a bit further down, you can see the skeletons marching over here towards the last dwarves here shot themselves, I believe. This thing blew up in a massive explosion, which was very Buckheimer. I'm going to say it's fucking Buckheimer, actually. And that created the shockwave down here, which this older woman, whose model I don't have yet, I really should... Maybe I'll use this one, actually. Let's use this one. So she managed to, like, ride the wave, and she sort of surfs in at this precise moment, and just this massive, like hanging... In fact, you kind of hear this kind of... in the background. You don't know where that's coming from, but it just suddenly appears and then just goes, and she sort of waits...
Tell you where that sound is coming from.
Sorry?
I tell you where that sound is coming from.
Where's it coming from?
She has, my character, Madame McGinty, has a parrot on her shoulder.
Awesome.
Okay. Yes, she has a parrot on her shoulder that is doing that as she arrives.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say she had a ukulele or something.
No, this is much better. I like the parrot. Okay,
no,
so
you're
the
right.
parrot stays in the picture. So it's... She glides in. In fact, what she does is she rides this escargot, and the escargot starts taking water in, and she takes more and more water in, and it hits the bank, and she just steps out onto the side, and the escargot just submerges itself and just drifts down. And she steps out like really easily as well, like just literally just like a casual step. And Dr. Dasher and Wavy David sort of go to help her. In fact, Tom actually, these two characters, these two very good-looking guys, sort of chatting to each other, sort of like embracing. They turn to you, they see you, they make a half step towards you to try and help, as you touch down very daintily on the side of the riverbank.
Oh, lovely boys. Still, you don't really need to help me. I'm fine, actually.
It sounds like a really old ratty.
No.
Panto Dame much?
What?
This is your Panto Dame.
It's my Panto Dame, yes.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Can we grumpify this a bit? Can we make this a tiny, like 10% more grumpy?
No,
fine.
this is how I'm doing this.
Right,
I'm not taking fucking notes on my performance. You.
Behind you.
Yeah.
That's right. From now on, like the whole way through this, I'm going to try and seed every other bit with Panto references.
As they offer out their hands, she actually just whips out a clay pipe from somewhere deep within all the many cardigans she has on, and lights up and goes, "Very grateful to you boys. Don't suppose any of you have got a bit of backy on you."
As you say that, this huge wave of water just drenches both of them, but misses you completely. Like you're standing in the epicenter of it. It just goes like that and just drenches both of them. And like Wavy Davy's getting some matches out and just drenches him completely. And Dr. Dash is sort of standing over here, and he gets completely drenched. Like the feather in his cap just suddenly goes very like limp, and they just stand there like looking at you, spluttering water out. And both of them haven't moved because it's a bit of a shock. They look back at you blankly and just blink.
And the parrot says, "Bollocks!"
Okay, profane parrot. I like it. All right, so crashing back to Bondo. Bondo, you have now seen this, but also more importantly, you've seen your friends on the edge of the waterfall. And they are not even teetering the edge. They literally just get to the waterfall and they go over into the into air, kind of like Wile E. Coyote. You know, Wile E. Coyote, when he sort of gets to air, gravity doesn't quite take effect, and they just hold there for a second.
Oh, he holds up the little sign and goes, "Oops."
Yeah, instead of a little
like that,
sign
yes.
though, Ratty just gives you the smallest of waves, and then they just drop straight over the side, like that, with Mabel.
Bondo is aghast. Bondo is actually lost for words at this point, just sort of staring agog at the end of the waterfall.
Okay, Mary Louise Butterford sort of lets go of your hand and starts rushing towards the end. So does Dr. Dasher and Wavy Davy, and they all start sort of rushing to the edge of the the edge of the. Let's get this dog out of the way. Jesus. To the edge of the waterfall. They all start rushing over. What are you going to do, sir?
I'm gonna go find what the hell's happened to my friends and run to the end.
Sure. Okay, you get to the edge. They're already there. Please make an initiative test. I'm going to give you +10 because you're standing on the top of it. What's your initiative, actually? I've forgotten.
23.
Oh, that's not going to cut it. Do you have luck?
I can pass it with luck. I
You
do.
could do, yeah.
I
your
will use my luck.
Your luck holds for the day. That's fine. So you can pass it with luck. You look over and you actually see, which is extraordinary to you. You actually see this. You didn't spot it straight at first, but right where the waterfall, where the water goes through, you actually see quite far below, about halfway, maybe about 75 feet below you, what looks to be a swinging net. And in the centre of it, the escargot appears to have been caught. It's been slightly battered around a little bit, but it looks like the waterfall has actually caught your friends, which is weird and strange and amazing. And what you thought a minute ago they were actually going to be dead, they look like they've been caught by a net. It must be something the villagers set up. It's very strange, and you don't understand the point of it really. Maybe like a fishing thing or something. But they appear to be caught in it. This is about halfway down. Now you do know there is a path down, which is the way that a lot of people get down around the waterfall. It's a main path, which is where cargo sometimes goes up as well. It's quite difficult, but that's sort of like your best bet. And you can probably find a way to try and meet them if you can. Maybe get close. And there are rocks down here like this the whole way through, so maybe you can traverse the rocks, get close enough and help them. But for a moment, their escargot appears to have been pitched into there, and they're balancing, and they seem to be okay, which is a miracle and a blessing in itself.
Right. Bloody hellfire, didn't expect that to be there. Oh, thank the gods they're
It's
all
almost
right.
like it was a
Bloody
plot
fools.
contrivance. Sorry.
And he didn't even ask for a fate point.
Yeah,
Yay!
I know. I should have taken the favour. I'm getting soft with my age. All right. Cool.
Let's not talk about Hungry Neil.
Let's not
No
talk
more
about
Hungry
Neil.
Sad Neil.
Where's Sad Neil? He's hungry. Yum. 8 fate points. All right.
Still
So, all right, mate. So, what do you want to do? You're sort of everybody's milling around. The villagers sort of like have sort of gotten out of their escargots. They're milling around, but they're not really sure quite what to do. They're all staring. Most of them are staring back at Frugelhofen, which is over here, and it's just on flame. It's like the Great Fire of London pictures, you know, those things, except it's the whole fucking town. And you can see, although it's a bit distant now because you have travelled quite fast in a short amount of time, you can see even the skeleton hordes that are rampaging, sort of marching, not even rampaging actually, they're marching very succinctly, and they look like they're coming towards like this side of the valley. So they're leaving the town. A few that, like, you see lots of them milling through the town or wandering into the town, but a lot of them are going through the fields, and a lot of them are coming this way. Obviously towards, you know, if they can see you, you can see them. They're going to come and finish you off, basically.
How much time do
Fair
we
enough.
think we have before they're on us?
Let's get your character. I'm going to use this dude as your character. I think it's appropriate. Make an initiative. What's your character called again?
It is Rutger.
Okay, Rutger.
Rutger,
I love it. It's just like Rutger Hauer. So Rutger, who I believe you're about. I'm not going to out you actually. I'm not going to tell you what you are. But yes, you have a certain set of skills. So if you have anything like orientation or anything like that that you could appraise or estimate, you can add +10 to your roll. Otherwise, it's a straight initiative roll for you, sir.
Right, well, it's going to be a bit of a stretch, but the only thing I've got is Sixth Sense. But this isn't one of those situations, is it?
No, I wouldn't say this is a Sixth Sense situation, and usually that's something I'd have to give you. Where's your... Yeah, here you go. So here's some dice for you.
No, fantastic, cool.
Yeah. So you're going to hit your initiative or under, sir?
Right, okay.
Actually, give me your initiative. You actually need to write this shit down. Bondo's initiative is what now? 23?
My initiative is... Let's have a look here. Oh, that's quite good, actually. It's 41.
Okay, so that's Klim. And that's 41.
Get to these dice.
Tom, what's your initiative, mate?
Mine's 31.
Not bad for an old... can't remember the derogative term.
Lovely old biddy.
The old biddy, there you go. Okay, cool, so that's 31. So what did you hit? 36, right?
No, I have not rolled yet. I'm just highlighting them. I'm
this
having
is a
some slight
D8 as well,
difficulties
so
here.
let's not give you that. Alright, here you go. So there you go. These two
Thank
here.
you. Right, okay, so highlight. Trying not to get the trees. Come on, you.
If you get the trees, I take things away from you.
Right, okay, no, that's fair
Oh shit! Oh shit! That's a 0-4. Okay, folks. So here's the thing. That's a critical success. Okay, folks. So this is a percentile game. Anybody who doesn't know, this is Warhammer First Edition roleplay, fantasy roleplay, based on percentile. No matter what you have, 0, 5, 0, 1, 0, 5, 96 to 100. This is a critical success. This is a critical failure, no matter what your stats are. And it's just like nat 20 and a 1 in D&D. So if you know D&D, it's the same thing. Except that the consequences here are usually quite severe, as this is a Grimworld, a Paris adventure, and Warhammer's quite punishing. So critical success is amazing. So you actually have really keen eagle eyes for a human being. You also have spent a lot of time in armies, and you're very, very good at appraising battle situations for whatever reason. You can see that there are indeed quite a lot of skeletons milling around here, and that there's a skeleton force. There's almost immediately, almost simultaneously on either side. You actually spot a force over here that you weren't really scanning for, and you reckon you've got a good 3, maybe 4 equivalent. Like maybe you've got a minute, which is the equivalent of about is that like 10 rounds? Or something like that, to actually...
So they're coming quick.
They're coming quick, and they're marching fast. Yeah, you got about a minute or so. But this is a minute or so to get everybody together and get down that path. And then if you were to hang around for another minute, they'd be upon you. So you've got maybe 2 minutes in total to get everybody together down the path. These things are like marching full steam. And they...
Holy shit. Like, we got no time at all from that escargot.
Well, we got to sort it all, yeah.
There's also a whole bunch over here. So these are the ones that attacked the side and attacked the bridge. You haven't gone that far past the bridge. So these are the sort of 2 squadrons that were, or 2 platoons, I guess, of skeletons.
Oh, so they're coming down on us from both sides of the river.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they're just trying to, they don't seem particularly intelligent. They're just following what whoever's ordering them.
Sure, it's not more like 5 minutes, Neil. Like a minute, that's 60 seconds is fuck all time at all.
It's 120 seconds.
What?
All right, fine, fuck it. I can't appraise distance. Fuck you, Tom. So it's okay. 5 minutes. You've got 5 minutes, Tom. Trying to make.
If it was a minute, they would be already on this drawing.
Maybe they're masquerading. Maybe they're like some of the children.
Are they doing the can as they walk?
They are. Yeah, that helps.
Okay.
Maybe
boys, we've got to think fast here.
Yeah. Okay.
Either way, I mean, I can understand that they're coming quickly, but
it's been a long week. Let's just say it's like however much time it takes for you to just get the fuck out without it being boring.
to put a fire under our... Right, got it.
Whatever it is, whatever the time it takes. I mean, if you need to like eat sandwiches now and like stop and have a chat and like just start processing what happened to you because it's slightly traumatizing, let's just factor that in and then start moving. But whatever time it takes,
I got it. We've got no time for a sandwich.
You've got no time for a sandwich. Okay.
Okay. Well, if it's still my turn, Neil,
it is still your turn.
Can I turn to the people who are standing looking over the cliff edge and walk up to them and go, I don't think we have enough time for this.
Yeah,
they're coming quickly.
Sure thing. You see an elf, a human who's dressed in finery. There is a halfling female, and then there is a male, you think, dwarf halfling bastard off child. You're not entirely sure. Some kind of thing that you're not familiar with. Who looks kind of like a dwarf, but he's got no beard, which is weird. He's got massive mutton chops, which is unusual because you've met dwarves before, and this is like, and you don't know what this dwarf is. There's also a really old biddy that's sort of like, hobbling her way, who just surfed in on a fucking escargot. In fact, she wasn't just surfing in it, she was standing on top of the escargot with her legs akimbo, probably at an angle which denotes more flexibility than her age and initial, let's say, look might be able to back up. It seems a bit weird that she could just basically do almost the splits and just ride this fucking escargot in, and just stepped off.
It was a scene worthy of a painting.
Than she looked.
Yeah, she's more spry than she looks. Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
You said
yeah,
that out
I just need.
you say cool out loud.
We're gonna get going, right? Come on, guys, let's get going.
Please.
Apparently, we've got 60 seconds.
Okay, point taken. Fuck you.
Shoot the messenger.
Yeah. So what do you want to do, sir?
Okay. Well, I'll inform them that they're coming up. They're coming up quick. They're on both sides of the river, and they're going to kill us.
Yeah. So this guy comes up to you. He seems the panicky type, and just starts saying this at you. You sort of noticed him in the village. You didn't pay him much mind. But at a first glance, he sort of like just blends into the background a little bit. But now that you've sort of staring at him face to face, you realise that he's actually kind of like tooled up as an adventurer. You have no idea who he is, and he appeared in the village yesterday. So you're not really like, you got there pretty quick anyway. So when you appeared back, he sort of appeared as well. But he was coming through the fields. You seem to remember like vaguely, but you didn't really pay much attention to him because there were pressing matters at hand. But you're not sure who this fucker is.
Bondo. Bondo.
My turn,
Jim?
is it? Right. Yes. 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 Yes.
Are you responding to
Let's
this?
say it again, yes.
Jesus Christ.
This instantaneous threat? Jesus Christ.
Can you hear me or not? Or are you just
Yes, we can
gaslighting
hear you.
me?
We can
Yes,
hear
yes,
you.
we can, yeah.
IT specialist, yes, we
Right,
can hear
good. Right then. Right, and who might you be, sir?
My name is Rurka, and we have skeletons. A lot of skeletons.
Can I suggest that we haven't got time for all this? We should get going.
I agree with the surfing lady.
you. Where is Rooker from?
So,
He sounds a
Grandame.
little familiar.
Where should we go?
Look, I got light repertoire, okay?
You
Cut
have
me a
got light
break.
water. At this point, one of the dwarves, Grimbrin, and also Grimbrin and Bardak step forward. And they go, "Oh, nasty bloody business. Lost most of our force. Now, what do we do now? Stand and fight? We can make a good stand here, backs against the chasms and such."
I think that's a bloody terrible idea. We've got to get going. We've got to. What are our exits from here?
So
Neil?
you know, because you are a native to Fugelhofen, that there's
Yeah.
a big path going down. There's only two ways you can go right now. There is to the
Right.
north, the sort of mountain range which surrounds the valley. So if you want to look over here where I'm drawing, it's sort of all the way around here and all the way around there. So your possible exit could be like this way. You know there's a possible exit over there, but you don't need to share that
But
information.
we're on the other side of the river.
No, you're on this side of the river here, this side here, which I'm drawing. Not that
Oh,
side.
okay.
Okay. So you're on this side here, which is the west side. There is the mountain range you can go to, but that would be like pretty much a death sentence, especially with so many skeletons there. You might be able to get past the skeletons, but like heading that way, you're going to have to go into the mountains, and none of you are prepared to do mountaineering equipment. Nothing. Like you'd be going there, which with nothing. And not even
Right.
provisions, which is not
So
really
what
a
you're
good
saying
idea.
is we've got one way to go, which is down.
Which is down the main path, which you know, which leads down to the rest of the Frugal Valley and specifically to La Maison Tal, which is the next
All right.
settlement, which you know of, that is A, defendable, B, has people and mainly also has priests, which, let's face it, against skeletons probably is a good idea.
Right then, enough pricking about. We're going to get down this hill. Who's with me? And I just start. Madam McGinty starts marching towards this path.
Cool.
Everyone, we're moving out.
Can you make a leadership test plus 20 because you are a villager yourself?
I
What's
can.
What's your leadership actually, Tom?
I
What's
did
that
actually go a bit Ratigan there for a
We're
second.
elaborating.
This is the curse of doing. Oh, my leadership is 51.
No, that's weird.
It's actually one of my best stats.
Strange.
I won-
A supposedly normal old octogenarian.
Yes.
Okay, so hit it.
I need a 2d10. Oh, right. Okay.
Allow me to give you these dice, sir.
I don't trust him at all now. Let's roll.
All right, let's roll it. Oh, so close. 47. Is that a pass?
That is a pass.
Nice.
Yes, I got 51 leadership. I reminded. That's what I just said.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Just
pass.
all right, cool. So you say that, and all of the villagers sort of nod and murmur to themselves, and a lot of them start hurrying this way anyway, and all of them start looking at you, and they immediately take your advice and think it's the only sensible thing to do, and they all start sort of like reasonably orderly with a lot of brisk walking, head towards the path. They help each other up. They're sort of checking on one another to make sure they're all okay, and they start going down the path towards it. The dwarves also go, "Oh, the old bat's got a point," and Bardak starts going down with them as well. Grimbrin sort of goes and whistles to one of the other dwarves who's there.
he speaks in Dwarvish. Ach, leave me on, min douche. Which actually, what they say, listen here, old chap, which is what dwarves sound like to each other. Listen here, old chap, why don't you do a little bit of regard action? These humans look a little bit soft, what? And the other dwarf, like, which you don't know unless you speak Dwarvish, goes, yes, quite rather. Look at the soft ones on that. I mean, dear God, he can barely hold his head up with that neck. And he starts trotting. You see one of these dwarves off to this, like, very rough exchange in Dwarvish, and one of them goes towards the back, and sort of, like, just stands back, and he's got this massive blunderbuss, which he's loading, and he just sort of stares around. He calls over to you, Bondo, and goes, in Khazad-lid as well, in Dwarvish, he goes, I say, old chap, do you mind if I hang out with you lot? What? Try and give, a good innings, as it were, just in case those skellies learn how to swim, ha-ha.
What a top idea, that man. Splendid. Of course you'd be welcome with us.
Cool. So, Tom, you and Klim, all you hear is, Och, minishnu! Shit like that, basically. Like, it's like, think quasi-Klingon. All the rest of the villagers are moving down. You also see, do you remember the elf? That really sexy, hot, like, dress.
Yeah, the hot elf, but we never did anything
you never did,
with.
Anything with. She's also amongst them, and her pal, Albie. Do you remember him? The sort of poetry-wielding something or other. You're not entirely sure what his deal was.
Vaguely, but yes. Yeah, so that was a long time ago now. That was like...
It was a long time and a lot of brandy ago, so
6 months. Yeah,
they're both there as well, and they're sort of in the middle of the pack. And she's very much trying to blend in and like look like she can't take care of herself at all. Like, I'm just a poor villager kind of thing. And he's just sticking to her like hot glue. And they're just sort of walking with the rest of the crowd. You see, at the front of the procession, you also see Cecil. Do you remember Cecil, the sort of charlatan that you uncovered that you basically, Steve mentioned and probably wasn't what he said he was, kind of thing? He's at the front, literally, he's basically running down the hill right now. He pushes one of the children out the way who almost falls over to their death, but manages to get yanked back by one of the other villagers. And there's also like Alan and Emmerich who's sort of helping the elderly get down, except with the exception of you, Tom, because you're sort of like making, I don't know why, but you're sort of watching everybody go, just sort of bustling them along and generally taking charge in a weird way for an old villager type. I guess you're respect and all that stuff. So that's sort of how it's going. The procession's going. The rest of you are here. Wavy Davy, Dr. Dasher turns to Wavy Davy and goes, listen, darling, we should probably head on. These people look wounded. Let's go and help them. They're certainly the more infirm to the front. And Wavy Davy goes, that's a capital idea, Dove. He turns around and goes, Bondo, you okay to look after the rear? They snicker at that for some reason.
Wow.
I don't know what you're trying to say, but yes, I can perform a rear guard action.
Wavy Davy turns around and goes, oh my God, he's so naive and so sensitive. It's really funny. Dr. Jack goes, you shouldn't tease him like that. And they sort of very sweetly go down. And you notice they are actually immediately they're also taking charge. Dr. Dasher and Wavy Davy are very cool people, very good eggs, and they immediately start helping the more infirm. Dr. Dasher goes right to the front of the procession and starts he sort of does these very quick appraisals. You know Dr. Dasher is a good doctor, but actually it's moments like this you realise how good he is. And he starts like immediately, he's like helping people, even just walking the wounded down. Wavy Davy, who's also a very bright spark and a lovely soul, also is now sort of filling in that role as well of helping people and generally being cool. They're very cool party members, and you're lucky to have them, really. So they start going through that there. They are a bit naughty though, and they do tease Bondo a lot because he blushes so easily. Alan helps them as well. Alan turns and goes, he's still shocked from the death of his wife, and goes, I think maybe I should go and help. I should go and help. And he sort of looks blankly at you, Bondo. Remember, his wife was blown up in that in their house was blown up in front of him. Do you remember?
Sort of vaporized in front of him. Wasn't
Pretty
she?
much. She came out as the bomb was falling. She just got vaporized. So he's pretty much in shock.
Okay, Tom and the rest of the party. The only problem I see with this is that if any of these skeletons have bows and arrows, we're going to be a sitting target on this road.
The coward starts speaking to you, Tom. The clear coward of the group starts speaking out to you.
And once again, don't shoot the messenger, man. I'm just talking logistics here.
Is this a concern that you're voicing for your character?
You're giving Neil ideas.
No, I'm saying it to the rest of the party, as in Tom and James.
Okay. All right. Well,
giving
let's.
the
Well,
idea.
what do you think, guys?
I mean, I haven't got a fucking umbrella, so we're just
yeah. We're
I,
fucked. Yes.
I think
You
we're
know
just
Neil
gonna roll
wants to
with
kill
this
us,
and
right?
see what happens.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to draw like a new little kind of like table. It's going to be easier to see what I'm sort of talking about, I guess, because it's going to be quite
Working on tactics. I'm still trying to figure out the accent of my character.
You really are, aren't you? I wasn't going to say anything, so I'm
I'm
going to put any
I'm
pressure on you.
workshopping it as we go.
You
all
are,
right.
It's like you've been to Liverpool, you've done Mank, you've done West Country. Like, where
I
are
have
you?
not done. All right, I did. I've not done.
Little Liverpool, man. I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
to you.
I did a little bit actually.
Yeah,
but
McGinty
why
was
don't you
a
go a
bit
little
savage.
scouse, mate, if you fall into that?
Do
You
you
know.
think she's a little bit Lily Savage?
It's a little bit Lily Savage. I like a little bit of Lily. You know, it's fucking nice. I used to live up in Manchester for like a year. It was fucking fantastic, mate.
All right, I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna go a little
do a
bit.
bit of scouse, mate. You know,
A little bit of scouse. All right.
scouse. Why not? Make you a scouser.
I might. The problem is that at some
can't
point,
sustain it.
invariably, I will fuck it up royally. If there are any Scousers listening, I apologise already.
We should take that as just like an assumption, like just an automatic thing that we just immediately apologise. By the way, this is not a Scouse accent. This is an old world accent from some part of the old world, possibly
Some
Marienburg.
mysterious part of the old world where,
It sounds
where-
really like Scouse.
Yeah.
All right. So
I should point out that my initial inspiration for this character is that I wanted to do one of the old ladies from Monty Python, and they're all like,
Talk like that.
They're all too late. Well, we
Talk like
talked.
this.
Come on, we're gonna go.
so I could do that.
Why don't you do that, Tom, and see how your voice takes it?
Oh, Roman.
why
Oh, I
not?
love
I
that
don't think there are any
everyone's
old women that
human.
listen to our show that are easily offended. I'm pretty sure we're safe for
Come
that.
this way.
We are so sorry in case anyone's listening.
Oh, he's a naughty boy.
I think we're safe actually with that. I think we're fine.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
I might just carry on. I'm gonna surprise everyone. Every time I speak, she's gonna
Just
change
a
her
new
accent.
Maybe she does
That's
that.
cool.
Maybe everybody's like, so she just thinks that she's fucking mad. There's
She's
probably
got
a reason for it.
multiple personality disorder. All right, it's very serious.
All right, so
Don't-
she's just
don't mock
a
her.
bit like. Okay, so we're going with that, I guess. That's good and tenuous. Okay, so you start walking down the path. The path is like this. Either side of you, there are. Bondo, can you quickly make an initiative roll plus 10, please? There are rocks either side. You can see the waterfall cascade down this way. The path is quite wide, big enough to put transport troops and
16, nice.
carts and
Pass.
bikes. Excellent, thank you. And you see the waterfall down here. You're going down maybe about 20 or 30 feet so far. You can also see now, Bondo, because you've already spotted it, although nobody else has seemingly, the net. And you see the escargot. And actually, as you sort of see them, you see that Ratty and you think Dell and the dog seem to be getting out of the net, or at least Ratty is. You can't see where Dell is. He's sort of going into the waterfall, which is really bizarre. As he does so, though, the net sort of swings quite a lot and splashes around. And suddenly, these creatures, these boids from before, start erupting from the rocks. And you look down on the side of the rocks around the waterfall, and you realise that's where they're perched. And there's hundreds of them, and they're all over the rock system. And there's sort of a couple of them are flitting
We
straight.
saw this before, didn't we?
You've seen this before, yeah. And
Ratty and I scouted them out before.
that's right. And you also fought them before, and 6 of them almost wiped you and Ratty out.
And how many of them are here?
Hundreds.
Holy shit!
Nom nom nom.
Yeah, exactly. So, and a lot
Yes,
of they're
goes down
flitting.
very sad, Neil.
You see,
We're in a lot of trouble. Oh no, we're in a lot of trouble, aren't we?
you see them flitting through the water of the waterfall, presumably where I guess Ratty and Dell are holding onto the rock face, I guess, underneath it. Maybe they're trying to get cover or something. So these things seem to be trying to get in there to attack them. They seem to be, like, a couple of them do disappear in. More of them are gathering around. They're like a cloud swirling around the front of the waterfall. What do you want to do, Bondo? I mean, literally, there's so many of them. It's like it's just completely bananas, mate.
Right then.
Don't know why I said bananas. That was a weird metaphor. That was a weird metaphor to put out there, Tom. Not sure why I'm using bananas. A bit strange, no?
Crazy.
Presses the phosphates.
Yeah, okay, it's the
you know.
phosphates. Okay, fair enough.
Anyway. Yes. Right. Okay. I've dealt with them before. Bondo's dealt with them before. Bondo didn't come out of it too well. However, I do also realise that I am a relatively seasoned adventurer.
Okay.
And the villagers, however, are not.
Well, more importantly,
So-
I guess Ratty and Dell are clinging on to a rock face, man. They're pretty outnumbered.
Yeah. So I've got stuck between a rock and a hard place. No pun intended. Right. I'm going to turn to the Bondo's going to turn to the old lady.
Yep.
Excuse me, madam. I think we have a bit of a problem.
Well, I literally don't know what voice to give.
Why don't you start here?
We certainly
Monty
do.
Python, old
I
dear.
can see we certainly do there.
You've got Irish.
I speak a little bit
Via
Irish.
Somerset
I think
and Pakistan.
I think
possibly.
I think Ireland's
Number of different countries.
Ireland's good. I think I stick with Ireland. See how you do with Ireland.
I reckon I can't fucking do it now. Yeah, we've definitely got a fucking problem. All right.
Oh yeah. So what are we gonna do?
That's
What are we
better.
gonna
That's
do?
it. Tom, mwah.
You
Stick
would-
with that.
You wouldn't happen to have some explosives on you, would you?
I love it.
Or
Tom,
something you can use?
Well,
that
funny
is
enough,
that is full on
I do love
McGinty.
it when you talk dirty.
that is the madam. You found the madam.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
Took you a while. You're good. All right. So Bondo, you've just had this this wonderful moment with this fantastically fully fleshed character. What are you going to do? So, you guys are around here-ish at the moment. You're sort of at the behind the drain, and the dwarf is like getting a bit nervous and sort of like saying to you, "We really need to get a move on." And some of the villagers are hanging here. You see the others are moving down reasonably quickly. They're also starting to move quite a little slowly. Because obviously they've suddenly realised what you've realised, which is there's a shit ton of undead fucking birds swirling around like a cloud, and they're sort of like trying to sneak but trying to move quickly, you know, that kind of shit. What do you want to do?
Yes. Okay.
So are we?
Right. As a narrative, hang on. As a narrative dialogue thing,
Yeah,
I'll be talking to the old dear about a plan.
yeah, that's free action, folks. It's only when we come to actual action we sort of need to kind of take a quasi initiative order. So you can do free actions.
All right. So what? Do you have any ideas then, little dwarfy man?
I'm totally sold. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas?
Oh, Bondo will let that pass for now. Right, I have a plan. Can you get your people down the path, and myself and my friends here will create a distraction.
I like that idea. Yes.
It's like a geriatric Miss Piggy.
Hammy, get up.
I love it.
Yes. All right. Okay, everybody.
Yep.
We're gonna go down here. Very quiet. Very gentle. Quiet now.
Okay, you just hear this. Yes. And Mary Louise Butterford, who is
She's joining. Does she sort of hold my hand?
Yes.
she holds your hand, pats it like a little patronisingly, to be honest, and goes, yes, like that, and just then waddles, wanders off towards Bondo. You make another leadership test, plus 20, please. Whatever the hell the madam's name is.
Madam McGinty.
Madam
Yes.
McGinty, thank you, McGinty. McGinty me. 80. Is
Oh,
that a
bollocks!
fail?
That's fail.
Oh, it's a fail.
Yeah.
It's a fail by mine. Okay, you sort of try to start shouting, but the roar of the waterfall is just drowning your words out. Only a few people hear you, and they actually start lingering back. So, like the elf who's here sort of stops and turns alongside like Albie, and some of the villagers sort of hang back, and they sort of like put their hands to their ears, kind of thing, that kind of stuff. Whereas the rest of the pack is now still moving away, a bit
Can I
further down.
point out that whenever I make a bad roll, the parrot goes bollocks.
Okay, cool. All right, nice one. So what are you going to do, Clem? What are you going to do?
Okay, I'm assuming I'm back with the old lady and with Bondo, yeah?
Yeah, you're back with the other guys at the back, yeah. And
Okay,
the madam.
can I hear what the old lady was saying?
You're right next to her, yeah.
Okay, I want to, with the same kind of voice, if I can get a roll on that, because I think it's quite important we try and get these people further down. So if I can take a roll on that as well, that would be useful.
Okay, I'm
and
gonna
get
give
my
you-
bow out at the same time.
I'm going to give you a minus 20 to that.
That's fair enough.
That's leadership,
Right.
because you're struggling against the roar of the waterfall, whereas she's like familiar to them. You're a total stranger.
Yeah, so I can see this is not going to go too well.
Nope.
Right. Hang on. Right, yep.
You rolled a 4 last time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we're not having any of that shit.
No pressure.
All right, Clint.
Yeah, I'm just.
Are you stacking the dice?
Are you using your nose on a mouse pad or something like that? What are you doing?
Give me a second.
Press
What
up.
do you mean?
Just select them and
It's
press
not
up.
grabbing
Wait,
them.
literally just like one at a time. Like that's
You
it.
know,
Can someone just
press
roll
up.
these for me? Because
Yeah,
obviously my mouse is having a problem.
Press up.
93.
Thank you very much.
Very, very close to a critical failure, which would have been delicious because I've got just the thought. Okay, mate. So
Open your mouth and a burp comes out.
yeah, literally, you got to go like that, and you just burp like really like that, really loudly, and that's it. That's all you get. And the old woman sort of like goes, just starts laughing and sort of pushes past you a little bit.
Yeah, well, they're all dead then.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, Bondo, it's your go, I believe now, sir. If we're going narrative order, kind of. Jim?
Right. Okay. They are not moving very fast, are they?
No, not really. And also the birds seem to be like diving into the waterfall with more regularity.
Right.
They're diving in and out, but they're definitely sort of trying to peck at something.
Right. Can I try getting the people to move through a particular narrative device?
Yep. What's that? What, like to
You lot bloody run!
Okay, I'm going to give you a minus 20
Pull the
to
bomb
this.
out.
I'm going to give you a minus 20 as well, because the roar of the waterfall is just massive right now. 79
Maybe we should have used hand signals.
is a failure.
Yeah.
I would say they are
Okay.
moving. They are moving down. They're just moving a little slowly.
Are they oblivious to
Wait,
the...
wait, Jim, did you just scream? You just screamed, right? And bellowed.
Yes.
Okay, cool,
Yes.
good. Hold on there 1 second, folks. All right.
Oh,
So, okay, cool. So you do that, and you sort of a lot of the villagers stop. They do hear you, but they don't really understand what the fuck you're saying. The main party's too far, and they keep walking down, led by Dr. Tasher and Wavy Davy. And the ones in the middle sort of stop, and they all sort of like turn around to face you, like this, like what now? Like what's going on? And suddenly you just hear from all around like the swirling. And there's also a cacophony of crows as well, right over here. But then you just hear this from the crows, and they just immediately like one big mass, like
that was completely quiet.
this pulsating. What? That was quiet. You want me to do it again?
That was completely silent. You cut out totally. Yeah.
Oh, did I? I have to go. Maybe.
It just happens when Neil does like rory sound effects.
How was that? Was that better?
Yeah.
Was that good?
That was silence as well.
Fuck, was it? I think the people actually hear. Did anybody in the chat hear that?
Yeah, if chat can hear it, I think we just have to...
They said cry, so I'm taking that as a compliment. Fine. All right. So thanks, chat. So that you hear this sound, which trust me was fucking eerie and terrifying.
Oh, I can hear it in Rose's headphones now. Yeah.
Okay. So I think the point is that it's just, okay. You know what? I'm going to kill all of you. Fuck it. So yes, this huge swirling cloud just literally just turns like this. Like another one of those, like turns around in the air, kind of like a pulsating mass, and then just flies straight across the middle of this group here. You
Hey James, there's your distraction.
There's your distraction, so well done. And it does actually leave the waterfall area, so mission accomplished.
It's like a distraction.
You sort of see the elf turn and just look, and it's sort of in slow motion, almost like alacrity, like one of those slow-mo cam moments in a film. She just looks and she just points and goes, "Oh no!" And then literally her body is just ripped apart in front of you by all these crows, and they just shred her to pieces. You see Albie, who's next to her.
Thanks for coming, Elf.
No, he just throws himself in front of her and actually gets lifted off his feet by all these crows thudding into his body. And they still fly, and they fly literally away from him. All of the villagers here, and this dwarf as well, they just literally suffer the same fate. Some of them get speared and taken off their feet. Some of them are just ripped apart where they stand. Some of their heads fly off, like limbs and bodies fall off. It's just fucking horrific. And they just swarm straight across. You think you can see the other villagers down there just now panic running. And the swirling mass is now moving around. And it seems to be sort of like curling back towards where you are. And there's literally only the people you see around you. There's a couple of villagers here, the dwarf there as well, and the rest of you here facing all of this. What do you want to do, folks? We're now in combat. We're now in action rounds, initiative rounds.
or whatever you want to call it. Death rounds, let's say. So Klim, it is now your go. You're about 20 feet away from where you started over here, let's say.
All right.
Yeah, these things look fucking deadly. Like, they've just ripped apart 20 people.
Yeah. And we don't have anything ordnance-wise which can take out a huge, massive.
You don't know.
Things.
You don't know. I mean, you don't know these people. You'd have just joined them.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get my bow out. I said I was getting my bow out anyway, and basically say to everybody who is around me, if anybody has any plans, I suggest you use them now. And I'm going to fire a shot at the nearest one. Okay, well, it's the clouds. You're almost guaranteed to hit something. So I'm going to say it's an automatic hit because you're just firing an arrow to a cloud of crows. Unless I'm going to give you like plus. What is your ballistic skill?
Is there a chance you could hit a villager that's big?
Is what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's the way I'm going. So what is your?
That would be the cherry on the cake, wouldn't it?
What's your ballistic skill?
My current ballistic skill is 30, sir.
30. You can add 40 onto that, so it's 70 now, because you're aiming to a massive cloud of crows.
Right. Now I can roll dice, so I will do.
Yeah.
Right, there we are.
So that's a hit. It's a D6, here you are, sir. So do D6 plus 3, I believe your bow is.
Okay.
I really wanted to get a critical.
That wasn't a roll.
Really funny. Failure. 6. All right, roll another 6, because that's a critical hit. This is only for flavour, folks. So, okay, 9. Okay, okay. So one of these crows sort of screams out of the cloud and sort of lurches forward as if it's leading them. And you just like take this, like you stand like what is it called? Like the archer from Bard the Archer in The Hobbit, right? And you just stand there and you just go, and you just loose this arrow and it just rips straight through the spur, which kind of pretty much slips into 2. And what it does is it actually it splits the crow cloud, which actually funnels left and right of your party. And then they sort of get disorientated. Obviously, you hit the lead crow, because every flock actually has something that will probably direct it a little bit. Right. And this thing just splits and parts in front of you and then starts curling around like this.
Okay, can I get a vocal action?
Yes, voice, shouting and speaking, always free actions, yeah.
Everybody, run!
Cool, that was pretty awesome. By the way, anybody that saw that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Oh, can everybody can Bondo, can you make a cool test, please? I honestly don't think the NPC is going to survive long enough, so they don't need to. Fate point, insanity points. Okay, you pass. So you saw this horrific action. You don't get an insanity point from it. You're pretty hardened by this shit of the last like week's occurrences. So this is not like something that would shock you. This is just deeply upsetting. Cool. Okay, next up, you're now Klim's done that. So next up is actually Madame McGinty, right?
McGinty. Right then, enough messing around. So Madame McGinty, I sort of rustle around under my many petty and many layers of skirt. I've underskirts, I've petticoats, I've overskirts.
You're like a meringue. You're basically a meringue. You're like this.
I whip out 2 flintlock pistols.
2 flintlock pistols. You got flintlock pistols. Cool. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
And are we moving through this cloud of massacre?
This dude has just said to go back because this cloud is sort of here in front of you, and it's split into 2, but it's so big that it's sort of curling back round on itself like this, and it's probably going to curl back again. But there's still crows in the middle here. It's so big you can't just walk through now. It's just split into 2.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm starting blasting. I'm gonna just start blasting here, just again to help buyers retreat space.
Okay. All right.
So
firing off
if
wildly.
the thing is split,
yeah,
I'm gonna aim each pistol at both sides of the split.
Okay, it's pretty big. So the split is about 50 feet wide either side now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's
literally proportionally. Look at the diagram. It's like as big as that, basically. That's all this.
I do have to say this is very John Woo.
It's pretty John Woo, and she's got dual pistols as well, and she's putting both of them out. It's pretty John Woo. I like this character. I like it more than some of the PCs. This character's fucking awesome.
Okay. She's gonna blast into the sort of whichever of the clouds is more sort of just closer, slightly closer, or if there's...
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling like you're just, it's like throwing a rock at a giant right now. It's like, it's not going to do much, but it might get their attention. I'm just saying.
Oh, well, you know, it's still what my character's going to do.
Fair enough, dude. Yeah, fair enough. So maybe aim at the center, maybe right in front of you, perhaps.
Sure. Yes, let's do that.
All right. It's a double shot, which I'll allow because you've got the skill. So you're shooting both simultaneously into the same target, and it's plus 40 because you're shooting into the cloud of crows, and there's so many of them, you can't almost not hit. So you can do 2 rolls for both of your shots. You're aiming at the same place, pretty much.
Oh, my bow skill is not that good. Okay.
Plus 40 onto it.
All right. So, okay, I got to roll under 69 each time.
69.
69, dudes.
That's a hit. And for the second
I
one,
would be proud.
yeah. 50. Well, does she say something awfully cool when she does it as well? She whips these 2 things out. What does she say, dude?
She says, "Eat this, you little scallywag."
And she just goes, boom, 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 boom. Okay,
kind
cool.
of Irish.
Nice. All right. So she just goes and takes these 2 pistols out and just goes bam, bam, bam. Roll 2d6, but honestly, anything over a 3 or 4 is going to kill a crow, so that's fine. 6 and a 5, that's a critical. That's fine. Okay, so basically, you just pull these 2 things out and go, "Eat this, you scullies," and then you go, and then 2 of the crows just get blasted. Their heads just blurt apart, and they just slap to the floor in a wet, undead, bony mess. So you've taken 3 out of 300. Excellent. You're doing really well, folks.
I hope you're counting.
We're winning.
I'm
We're
counting
winning.
them off. I'm counting them off. I'm counting them off. 3 out of 300. All right, cool. So yeah, you do that, and I guess you start.
No advantage yet.
To have 300 check marks, and he has to, you know, put a strike through
I'm
them.
doing it the other way around. I will be fair. I will do it, but I'm doing it the other way around. Okay. So
All right.
just because I love you, I'm doing this. Oh Jesus! All
He
right.
has tick boxes for the player characters, and he's getting through them quickly.
Okay.
I should point out that was really, it was just more of a sort of rage attack rather than
I understand. It was awesome. You don't have to justify it. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's for the Boyds over there. Okay. So
It's
next
for all
up,
the people who just got torn apart.
exactly. So the next up is Bondo. Bondo, what are you doing? You've just seen the madness around you. What are you going to do, sir?
I'm going to calmly reach into my little satchel and pull out all of my ordnance.
Oh,
Yeah!
Really? You've got quite a lot.
All of it.
Having watched the old episodes, it's about goddamn time.
It's about goddamn time, Bondo. Okay.
Yes,
So
I
how many have you got?
I have spared the powder for too long.
You have spared the powder. Spare the powder. Spoil the bird. Spoil the Boyd. All right. So
Spoiled the Boyd.
how many do you have?
Right.
How many do you have?
I need to double check on that one. I know there's at least 1 Molotov, and I know there's at least 2 bombs. So let me double check. I think Clem actually knows how much ordnance I got better than I do, which is kind of scary. Shows his
Sounds
attention
about
to
right,
detail.
actually. Because you used 1 Molotov.
Okay.
Yeah, you only had 1 Molotov, definitely.
Right, so I've got 1 Molotov, and I'm only seeing evidence for 2 bombs at the moment. So 1
Okay.
Molotov and 2 bombs will have to do.
Okay. Well, a Molotov is probably quite useful because you can create, it's going to burn for a while, and it'll create a nice bang and flame and stuff. That's probably a very good idea.
I'm also thinking dry birds. Dry birds would be nice.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but think about it in this way: like you need to retreat clearly, and these Boyds are gonna they're
Break out the path and kind of create.
Ah,
they're
I
sort of
like
curling
that
back
thought.
this
I like that
way. Do
thought.
you know what I mean? So they're cutting back this way.
Yes.
So if you
Okay.
set like a wall, that might be quite useful.
I am
The only cover we've got back up at the top, though, are those boats, and I'm not entirely sure they're going to last too long against this lot.
Well, the thing is, if the path carries on down this way,
Mm.
we've still got that option.
You've
Yeah,
got
it
to
goes
have some
towards
cover, though.
that's towards the mountain range, but it does, yeah.
Yeah.
Only option we've got, boss.
So, okay. I am going to go with...
Mhm.
I'm going to throw a bomb.
Okay.
Here.
A bomb or the. Oh,
Hang on.
yeah. Talk us
I'll
through.
give you the plan, and you can help me walk through it. So,
Okay.
throw a bomb here,
Yeah.
and put the Molotov here.
Oh wow, you're gonna do a wall of fire. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Alright,
the
nice
fire
one.
will keep them away, and the bombs will hopefully make this less of them.
Okay, are you placing or throwing bombs?
I am going to place the bombs.
Are you gonna like do the old-fashioned old people's like balls, like pétanque or something, like just like chuck them underhand, or just roll them on the floor like balls? Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to go with the place
You
them
could do
and then
curling.
has the
You could curl them
Molotov at the
and
end.
get Tom could like sweep in front of them like curling. I like
No,
curling. Curling's
God,
ridiculous.
no.
All right.
No, I'm going to get the little old deer to take one bomb to this end,
Yep.
and I'm going to take the bomb to here, and then I'm going to withdraw and throw the Molotov here.
Are you calling her little old dear?
I'm not. I wouldn't dream of it. I'm a good, respectable gnome.
All right, fair enough.
I speak nicely to my elders. In my head, she's a little old dear.
Yeah,
'cause she's
exactly.
little. She's
That's
old.
all right. In
She's
my
a
head,
deer.
you're a little wee shite. Dirty wee shite.
Right.
Literally, that.
You got Scottish right all over the
What do you
place.
know?
Loving it.
Fuck off.
Yeah, it really is, isn't
I'm
it?
not good at accents. I'm trying my best. Okay.
It's a good thing you write, isn't it?
Loving it.
Yeah, this is why I write and not act.
Yeah. All right. So that's the plan. I'm assuming that Tom is kind of cool with it. So you're gonna head here. She's gonna head here. You're gonna head there, and then set off this thing in the middle, right?
Yes.
All right. Cool. So make a dex check, both Tom and also Bondo, please.
Oh no.
Bondo, you get plus 20. And actually, what for shits and
Okay,
gigs- actually,
2 seconds.
so do you, Madam McGinty, if I remember correctly. You also get
That's
plus 20.
good because my dex is 29, I
So you
think.
get 59, and this is a pass for Bondo, I'm pretty sure.
How much plus do I get? Is it
Yep.
20.
plus 20?
If I
Is it plus 20, Neil?
Yeah, you get plus 20.
I got to get under 49. Right.
right, that's a pass then.
I
Okay.
failed.
All right. So you sort of put yours down, Tom. How much you fell by? 90. Okay, it's not critical.
90.
All right, you sort of put it down and you sort of place it in between these rocks, and unfortunately, like you sort of slip a little bit because you're old, and you kick one of the rocks. The rock sort of opens, and the bomb starts rolling down the path, like you like that, and it's gone too fast and too far for you to catch up with it. You can't do anything about it. It's just rolling off. But anyway, that's your round. So the bomb is sort of rolling off in this way. Bondo, you
Might
see
catch
this.
some of them.
You what?
I said it might catch some of them.
Do you want to go and
There
catch
are
it?
enough. No, I'm saying it might catch some of the birds.
Oh, good, because I was thinking, oh wow, that's Clem out of the game really early. Okay, yeah, the bomb is sort of rolling towards the cloud already. So, but it's already lit. It's just rolling down there because it hit the right fuse. But it's now rolling lit. Bondo, you place yours absolutely perfectly as per usual, unless you want to change anything. You're lighting them as well, I presume, right?
Yes. Lighting it ready. It's on a relatively short fuse, but enough time for me to get back here.
Okay, cool. All right, so yep, the bombs will be set and go off. So the last thing to do, of course, is to chuck the molly. So use ballistic skill plus 20. What's your
Right,
ballistic
so
skill,
let me
sir?
have a look at that. That is my ballistic skill is 29. So
Cool.
plus 20, I've got to get under 49.
91. Okay, that's not good.
Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
All right,
Well, that was
so
shit.
that wasn't great. So you can roll this, and let's see if Lady Luck is on your side. You're a vagabond, so probably not. Where's that? That's an 8. So all right, so you sort of are going to. Let's see if we're doing this. Okay, so basically you sort of step back and you sort of you go into the sort of overarm position and you just let it fly. And as opposed to going straight forward, it goes this way, and it just lands exactly where the bomb is, and it just erupts into this sort of flame. So you haven't quite covered the area. It does obviously come a little bit further out this way, but it's not going to completely cover the area in delicious red flame. It's going to be more like the side only. So it just goes and it explodes like this, boom, 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 and it smashes into this sort of side of the cloud, and it starts burning. All these sort of like crows start flying through it. It does quite a lot of damage insofar as a lot of crows are sort of now on fire and flying through the cloud, and it's sort of starting a bit of a chain reaction where each time they sort of buffet and cascade into other crows, they sort of set them on fire as well, or at least they're starting to smoke and burn. So sort of half the cloud is now a burning cloud, but obviously
So So we're now facing a burning cloud of
Yeah,
crows.
because they're undead, they don't really feel pain, so this doesn't do as much as you thought it might. Anyway, so they're now sort of like burning, and they're floating, and they're now coming round towards you. That is your go over. Okay, the cloud. I'm surprised nobody ran, but hey ho, it's your game. So the cloud is now starting to do what I said it was going to do, which is this turning. It's like a steamship. So it's going to take a while to come back. You've probably got another couple of rounds before it'll wipe you out completely. And it's sort of turning over to here now. This thing is definitely on fire. This cloud is definitely on fire. There's still a few like crows zipping left and right over here, so it's still not a good idea to sort of try and run through that way. But it's more like this now, if that makes sense, if they can see through the mess of what this picture has become. But it's more like this now. So, but they are like curling back towards you, which is not good. Some of the villagers and the dwarf are already running back up the hill to where you were moments before. Let's just take these dudes out this one as well. Just leaves the four of you and Mary Louise, who's also starting to back off and is turning to run pretty much. Actually, she's already running. Just leaves you lot down here who are just staring at this wall of this wall of flame and wall of crows. Excuse me, folks.
Well, gentlemen, they appear to be playing our song. Anybody want to join me in the quick step?
You're just going to bugger off. All right. With that, he just buggers off. He doesn't even wait for your response. He just buggers off.
This is not fling. This is a retreat.
You sound just like Teddy, you coward. All right. So this is now left is now Bondo and Mary and Tom's character, Madame. I keep forgetting her name. McGinty, sorry, it's just a ridiculous name. Madam McGinty. McGinty, you're up first. What's going on, McGinty? Talk to me, McGinty.
I'm buggering off now. I shot my shot. Are they descending on us? Do we have time to run?
Yeah, you have time to run. I then ask, what is your movement?
Oh, good question.
Yep.
It's 3.
That's not good. Do you have any skills?
I'm buggering off slowly then.
Do you have any skills that can help you?
Let me just see now. I've got I've got strike mighty blow.
Not gonna help you running.
Dodge blow.
Not gonna help you running.
I've got flee.
You got flee? Oh, you lucky son of a bitch. I forgot I gave you that. All right, you've got flee. So basically you turn around, give a curt nod to Bondo, and then you lift up your many petticoats, and you've got like kind of these clogs, but they're not just ordinary clogs. They're like clogs with springy soles, and they've got like this little tick mark on the side of them that you put in that you thought was really
Nike
cool.
clogs.
And you don't know why. You just thought the tick was really cool. So you etched these clogs you made yourself, and you etched in the sides the little tick marks. And you just thought they were dandy. And now you've got these clogs, and these are like your sprinting clogs. And you just lift everything up, and you just pelt off. And your movement has doubled, so you've now got a movement of 6. And you're about as fast as Usain Bolt, basically, right now. And you're just powering up after everybody. In fact, you overtake...
but hang on.
You overtake Rutger as well, yeah.
Hey, Tom, just do it.
There's one thing, though, Tom, you will. Yeah. Oh, damn it, you beat me to it, you bastard.
So just in Bondo, you see this dust cloud after this like old woman, and this like spray of like gravel in your face, and you're quite dumbfounded to the point that you haven't actually started moving yet because that was just weird. So what are you gonna do, Bondo? You're now alone on this like pathway, very much.
It's like when a hedgehog runs, isn't it? The legs go up and off it disappears.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm going to take Mary Louise Butterford's hand.
Oh, she's gone.
Come on, then.
She's not there. She's already gone.
Oh, she's already buggered off.
Apparently, love has boundaries.
Last gnome standing.
Love has boundaries.
Yes.
a flaming cloud of undead crows is apparently a boundary in your relationship. So pack that away and maybe open that later on. We've got some time to talk about it. But what's your movement, by the way?
I'm going to start moving then.
All right, what is your movement?
Still 3.
Okay. So you're not sprinting up the hill quite as fast. You're more like huffing and puffing.
Well, I am sprinting. It's just it's not very fast.
It's not very fast at all. Okay, so so flash forward to you finally making it to the top, and you see the rest of them are starting to move away. the old woman is sort of leading them, and she's really getting some distance on everybody, and they're just like following her. They're sort of like the dwarf is here; he's also struggling as well. Whereas the human, obviously, with his long, stupid, bloody legs, is keeping up. Mary Louise is here, and she's actually kind of waiting for you, waving towards you, trying to get you to hurry up. So she seems generally concerned. The cloud has now formed and is now currently where you were around before, like this. Like this.
Right.
And the old woman is heading in the direction of the mountains, basically. So she's sort of like going towards where the mountains kind of are, and is seemingly leading you in that direction, which is not great. But then you're kind of stuck between a rock and a very burning cloud place. What are you going to do? So
Is
Tom,
there cover at all?
what's
Yeah.
that?
Is there any cover at all?
You can't notice anything. There's a lot of brush. You could like hide in, but honestly, it's going to offer you 0 protection. The old woman. In fact, actually, Tom, what are you doing right now? What is your character doing right now?
I'm bloody pegging it.
You're local to the area, aren't you? You're a local to these parts.
Yeah.
So is
So
there is there something that you're doing specifically, or place you're heading, or something?
I don't know, because although my character is local to, I am not, Neil. So is there a hint? Is there some knowledge that you can share with me in my head that means that I will know where we're going?
It's not
Is
Gary,
there?
is it?
Yeah, well, I can also tell you a story about how we had a conversation earlier today, like the beginning of this thing, and I parted some pearls of wisdom about your character that you never ever make notes about. You never do that, Tom.
In a fucking supermarket when you called me.
Yeah, you were in a supermarket, and yet you didn't squirrel this information away. I just think that's terrible. It's terrible role playing, sir.
Turn around. Okay, I turn around and go.
Trying to find quinoa.
I just remembered something. There's a bloody dwarven outpost not far from here. We should get there. I'm sure we'll be a lot safer than we are.
Right. See, under pressure, you can do it, can't you? All right. So so she's referencing an old dwarven outpost, and there's also this sort of path that leads to the mountains that she mentions. And there's an old dwarven outpost that none of you obviously know about, in fact, none of you are local, so you wouldn't know about it anyway. But on her mad rambles around the valley, she clearly knows like of all these little secrets hidden around. It's quite an interesting valley, I guess. But there's a dwarven outpost she mentions and a path that leads into the mountains. But the outpost is kind of still standing. It's just been abandoned for a long time.
Back in 2 secs, folks.
Good. So the outpost is sort of like here. If this is where the village is, so you also it's actually not there. It's a bit closer towards the waterfall. That's a bit unfair. So yeah, it's basically it's if the village is burning quite nicely over this way, the mountain pass in there. So this is like the river here, and the village is burning over here. Then the waterfall is here. You're sort of gonna have to scoot along the waterfall and then curl up to go hit the outpost and the mountain pass over there, unless anybody wants to do something completely different.
I'm going to the bloody dwarven outpost that I remember very clearly. I've gone scouse again. What a mess.
I don't know where you are, Tom. But this is a wonderful trip through the British Isles.
I'm going to attempt Scottish in a minute.
You're going to turn Scottish. This is the only one we haven't had yet. Okay. All right. Cool.
Neil, just
Yes, sir.
quickly.
Yeah.
I've been looking through my character sheet, which arguably I should have done earlier, but I did make a note of it. Now, it looks like I came to this place via a little used series of passes through the mountains. Are any of those, do I know, attached to this rough area where this dwarven outpost would be?
No, you came from the other side of the valley.
It's odd.
This
Okay.
Is completely new. This is totally new information to you. Like, you don't know
Right,
any
yeah.
of this
Cool.
area.
Worth a shot.
We'll tell you worth a shot, but this is completely new to you. You do not know what she's talking about, but you have to trust this completely batshit crazy old woman that can surf.
I'll go with the bat. If it's crows or batshit woman, I'm going batshit woman every single time.
Makes sense, right? Especially when you say it
Yeah.
out loud like that. Okay, so the
100%.
first. So good news. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Back again.
All right.
Good news.
Let's have the bad news. Go on.
The good news is there's not many of them. The bad news is that some of the crows, I guess, are like acting like mini scouts. have sort of found you and are now like darting towards you very quickly. They're sort of like doing an attack run, and there's kind of like one for each. There's like 5. There's 7. Was 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 7 of you, right, or something like that, and there's 5 of them. But they're sort of doing attack runs at you. Anybody that has dodge blow can do a dodge out the way of their attack if they're successful. But all 3 of you are going to be attacked by them. So I'm going to be doing. They're swoopers as well, so they fly incredibly quickly. So I'm going to do their sort of attack run dice rolls on you. That is a miss. Oh wow!
Would sixth sense help me dodge them at all?
Yes, it would. Yes, you can. Add, I'm gonna plus 10 to my roll, or we can add. No, you know what? Actually, yeah, plus 10 to my roll, and then you can plus 10 to your dodge roll as well. So my plus 10, is a negative modifier, I should say. It's a minus 10 to my roll. Yeah. So the first one misses. The second one does hit Klim, but he can roll a dodge with a plus. And that wasn't a roll, really, new one, be fair. Exactly the same number, pretty much. And the third one hits Tom. Klim, do you have dodge blow at all?
I don't. Would this be a straight thing on my dexterity, or do I not get to do it?
This is initiative. You can half the damage. You can't completely negate the damage. You can half it.
Seems absolutely fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
so but you get plus 10 to your roll because of Sixth Sense. So you sort of feel it coming before it comes, and you just dive out the side.
Okay.
Okay.
It's doing that thing again.
Yeah, it's lagging a bit tonight, folks. Sorry.
Okay, right. Let's just gently grab the dice, very gently, and roll. Thank you.
That's a 20. That's a hit. So that's a success. So you can now roll a d6, and you can, in fact, not half, but you can take d6 damage. You're going to be fair because you got Sixth Sense, which makes sense.
Okay.
So take d6 off the roll. 4, very good. So I actually scored an 8 on you. And so it's 8. So that's 8 minus the 4, which leaves 4 damage left, minus your toughness and any armor you have.
Okay, I have a toughness of 5 and I have armor on top of that. So
cool. So you're going to completely negate this. That's fine. So you'll completely negate the strike.
Cool.
I'll just do these over here. So the strike comes down, and you've got a shield or something, I'm assuming, right?
I do, and a male shirt. Okay,
so what you do, you sort of like drop to your knee as it's just about to hit you. You hold your shield up, and it just clatters and bounces off your shield, and then flies back, squawks, and curves and launches back off into the sky around you. But you managed to miss that. The first one that was trying to attack Bondo misses, and Bondo just sort of like butts it away with the haft of your axe. And Tom, you actually turn around to see. You're actually quite far beyond everybody, and you sort of realise that, and you sort of turn to slow down. As you do so, this crow sort of sideswipes you this way. You've got dodge blow, I believe, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so if you can dodge the blow, and if you do, you negate all damage. So you want to do that. This is a hit, and that is a hit for. Oh my god! You really want to dodge this. I'm just saying, you really want to dodge that blow, dude. Just gonna say.
All right. Okay. Good. All right. So what am I gonna roll under?
You want to roll your initiative under.
Just when we're starting to like her.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit. Okay.
Please tell me you got some fate points.
54. That is not under my initiative.
That's not your initiative, right? Okay.
Who got that?
I don't.
Seeing if I got any other stats any other skills that can help me.
What armor do you have on, if any? Do you have armor?
Well, I do. Well, I mean, we'll get to that.
Okay.
As like blow.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to take the blow because I failed to dodge it. So.
Okay. So what's your toughness?
My toughness is 4.
Okay, that's 6 points damage left.
As this crow shears through many layers. Where is it hitting me, by the way?
It's hitting you on your, I guess on your like legs. Yeah.
On my legs?
Yeah, your petticoat.
Well, that's okay. So as it shears through the petticoats, they tear away, revealing underneath them all.
Bloomers.
I have
big bloomers.
Massive armored bloomers. No, I actually have this quite unusual looking, almost plate-like armor over bits of my torso and upper, and it's made out of black chitinous material.
Oh wow. Wow.
Reed.
And it's sort of shaped kind of a bit like plate armor, basically.
You got
So
greaves.
I think it functions like plate armor, Neil, doesn't it? So how much does that
It's
minus?
going to give you +2 armor points on your legs, and I think your body. I think we talked about. So
Yes.
that is. See, that's another 2. That's actually like. So you only take. Let's say 4 points of damage so far, unless there's anything else you can throw into the mix.
Granny's hardcore.
Granny's fucking hardcore, dude. Granny don't fuck around. Well, maybe she did, but
I mean, maybe I should also. I mean, at some point I'll explain that armor because it's fucking badass.
It's fucking badass. Dude. It's really cool.
Hang on, I'm just
He just,
sorry.
Pow, pow. Like just literally goes pow pow like that as it smashes off her legs, her massive thighs.
I mean, having said that, I have only got 2 wounds left.
Okay, right, that's cool.
So I'm down to 2 wounds. But so it did take a, but yeah, I survive.
Nice one. Okay. So nice one. Okay, so you sort of take this. I'm going to give you. Actually, I'm going to make. What's your strength?
My strength is 4.
Okay, cool. Right. Okay, so you sort of get swept off your feet. You sort of go into this like instinctive roll, which a lot of you see, which is pretty full on. And she just comes back up and carries on. Like she's hobbling a bit now because she looks like she's had her legs swept underneath her. But miraculously, she just stands up. Half her stuff is ripped off, and you see this weird kind of chitinous armor underneath, which is pretty fucking awesome. And this crow just sort of
And I'll shrug off.
You shrug it
the
off.
of my
And this crow actually smashed into it with such force that although it knocked her down, it also broke itself in half. And it's just twitching on the floor next to her. She gets up, just turns, spits on it, and just stamps her boot heel straight through the skull.
As she shrugs off her layers of old lady clothes to reveal this armor. Yeah.
Nice. All right. She's not even pretending anymore. Cool.
No, she's not pretending anymore.
Okay, cool. So the rest of them, one of the villagers here gets speared by this thing, which lands on top of him and is just like gouging him apart, literally ripping him apart. But he's on the floor, and this thing's on his chest, and it's just pecking straight through to his heart, and he just starts screaming, blood curdling. This other villager sort of goes to him, but the other villager next to her grabs her and just drags her on towards where you're all running. Mary Louise has got what weapons does she have? She's got frying pans. But what else does she have? She need range weapons.
Dual pans.
Dual pans. Okay. She's just getting a dual pans out. One, she's sort of looking in defensive like postures, but she's sort of like running backwards, like looking at you and then sort of turning and running again. Clem, it's Clem. It's your go, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm following that. Well, we've got a bit of a problem here because if that crow's going to get occupied with that person, then it's not going to be in the fight again. But it might be useful for someone to sweep by and take its head off its shoulders if it's down on the ground.
You can shout that out. Do you have battle tongue or anything like that?
No, I don't. But am I close enough to do it myself, Neil?
You can deviate, I would say. What's your movement?
I'm not actually got a bad movement. Actually, my movement's 5.
Yes, you can do that. I'm going to say you can do a charge attack. It's +10 to your weapon skill. I'm going to say you can do that. Yeah.
That's very nice of you. Right,
so you sort of like go whoop like this, and you sort of like run towards it. Okay, so a charge attack is +10 to your weapon skill.
Okay, and as I'm using
what's your weapon skill?
Do it.
Checking now. My weapon skill is 43.
Okay, it's 53 to hit, or under.
Okay. Right, just grabbing the dice.
I swear to God, he's using his nose. Look, watch how it moves. It's like his nose is on there. Like this.
Tim, select 2d10 on the board, and then whenever you need to roll them, just press up, and that'll do it.
Like that's what I do.
Like
well, that's what I did until you nicked my dice anyway. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that can happen as well. The nicking of dice will occur. But...
It will happen. 43,
Not
that's a
my
hit.
watch.
That's successful. That's a hit. Okay, nice.
Oh,
Alright, so this is a D6.
Crow prone.
The crow
Technically,
is technically prone.
because it's
Yeah,
busy.
it's prone. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's prone. It's double damage, sir.
Okay, cool.
So roll a
that's,
d6.
Do it.
Yeah.
That wasn't much of a roll, but okay, fine. 5. That's 10. Yeah, you're gonna completely. You tell me how you dispatch this poor thing.
Okay.
The poor thing, the poor undead crow.
Okay. I am running. Deviate slightly. Drop my sword down to right about where the crow's neck level.
Yeah.
Bye bye, birdie.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, you go thump, and you just lop it off, and this thing just like flies off, and is completely decapitated. Cool, and you carry on running.
The guy looks salvageable.
Absolutely not. No, his stomach, his chest cavity is ripped open, and in fact, when you lopped this thing off, its beak was like pulled out. It's his heart, and so you lop it off, and both the beak and the head and the beak and the heart sort of like just flop to the side. So you make a pretty brave one.
We're beyond elastoplast here, aren't we?
I'm pretty sure you're beyond like surgical spirit's just going to hurt at this point. Yep. Yeah. So cool.
Decapitate.
Right. So you're still a bit struggling at the moment, Bondo, but you're trying to keep up. The dwarf is turned around. His blunderbuss is sort of being leveled, and he's sort of standing still and taking aim. Because there's two of them now, sort of like following you. So these two have sort of obviously spotted that you're like moving away from the pack, as it were, and might not keeping up so well. And they're now sort of coming at you. You see the dwarf in the distance over here, but what you also see is another crow coming towards him, and he's now taken a firing stance. So he's stopped moving, and he's just turned round, trying to take a bead on one of these crows that are attacking you. What do you want to do? Talking, shouting is free action, sir.
Right, talking and shouting. Okay, I'll be behind you. There's another one coming in.
Make a leadership test, please. You can. Have you got battle tongue or anything like that? Like secret language battle tongue would help.
No, I do not have that. I just have fairly decent leadership.
Okay, so roll of leadership, straight leadership, because it's the heated battle and all that. It's going to be quite difficult for him to hear you.
Right. Moment bitte.
What is your leadership?
46.
Well, that's a 10. That's going to work. All right. So, yeah, cool. So what are you going to say to him?
He's behind you.
Ding! Anybody who has the pantometer counter on, that's 1. With that, the dwarf goes, "Oh no, it isn't." He just literally just like tucks himself into a combat role instinctively, and this thing just flies straight through where his head was supposed to be and arches back up this way. And the dwarf sort of gives you a kind of like sort of like a little signal like thanks, and then he screams back, "Oh no, he's not! He's behind you!" like that. And this thing's like careening this way, and actually you realise there's two behind you that are both about to sort of dagger into you. You're going to have to make a separate dodge roll, but one of them's going to be a penalty, sir, because you're dodging and then you're dodging.
I was just thinking, drop into the floor.
If you just stay where you are and drop to the floor, they're just going to hit you on the floor. You're going to have to actively dodge these things.
The other guy dropped to the floor.
It's a good thing
he combat rolled.
Yes.
He dropped and
I was talking about the peasant.
He was dead.
Yeah, he tucked and rolled. So.
Yes.
So yeah, you're gonna have. Do you have dodge blow at all?
I do.
Okay, so I can allow you to use dodge blow for both. You're going to take a -10 penalty for the second one, I'm afraid.
Okay, what am I rolling against?
Well, first I got to try and hit you, so let's take the audience straight over to the board of death. Okay, so the first one misses. Ooh, fucking brilliant. Okay, so the first one misses, and this is unusually brilliant for me because I've never done that before. So the first one misses. First one misses, but actually, what happens? Something weird happens. You go to move to dodge. In fact, weirdly, you decide to stay exactly where you are, and these things sort of both seem to overcompensate. The first one sort of misses you, and so it does this, but as it does that, the second one spears the first one, and they just get skewered into the floor at your feet, and you go like that, straight at your feet, and their little legs are now, like, their heads are like buried into the floor in like a little V shape, and their little legs are now just like flopping around in the air, making these little cute, like, little, like, chicken movements. Oh, I can't, actually, for some reason they go through the floor. Anyway, you get the idea. So they're just sort of like flopping around, just like hanging out in thudding like ostriches at your feet,
It's really bizarre and weird.
They had a crit fail, didn't they?
They had 100. Literally.
Beautiful.
Literally rolled 100, which I have never done before.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
Oh, my goodness,
Including the
beard.
6 years that we have been playing this game together for, I have never rolled 100. That was really weird. So
I feel honoured to be here.
it's what
That
it
was
feels like
glorious.
to be you lot, isn't it?
Yeah, that's emotional.
Just with more regularity. All right, so okay, cool. So you've actually kind of cleared quite a lot of the crows. There's only one crow left, and it sort of sees you, and it sort of like does this, and instead of like attacking one of you, it arches back and starts reeling back towards where the cloud is just sort of milling around here, like this, and it hasn't been chasing you. So this thing is now arched its way back, and is now seems to be like sort of leveling out and coming back to where the cloud is. Tom, what have you just been pelting towards the outpost, right?
Yeah.
Can the dwarf shoot?
Okay,
it?
cool. I'm going to say you're going to get there in a couple of rounds' time, but if you want to keep running, that's kind of cool as well. Mary Louise Butterfoot is hanging back here. The dwarf with the blunderbuss is just like you catch up to the dwarf with the blunderbuss. He goes, "Thanks, mate." And but you turn around, Bondo, and you're now seeing what's happening. This undead crow is now flying back to the flock. What do you want to do, you two?
I go talk to the dwarf in Caslid, of course.
Okay.
Which comes out as, "Old boy, look at that. I believe he's a scout for the forward party. I think you should take a pot shot at him and see if we can scupper his plans."
Yes. Oh, that'd be a fine idea. Careful. Care to put a wager down? What? Let's say, I don't know, a couple of Carl Frances. Why not?
A couple of Carl Francis, sir, and a drink of my finest.
A drink of finest? I shall see that, and yes, why not, indeed. Sport.
This crow's still flying away while you're having this very elaborate, overly long conversation. So he sort of takes out a shooting stick, whacks it into the floor, places a very long blunderbuss on it, and then he just sort of takes aim. And he looks at you, gives you a wink, goes, "Watch this, old sport." And he just fires. And if we were going to do a Michael Bay like slow motion or one of those, like, I don't know, whichever action director, take your pick, this ball just goes and just catches the back of this crow and just smashes straight through its head, and the crow just like slams into the ground and just skids like that, and just doesn't reach the cloud in time. Weirdly, the cloud does seem to react though. The cloud sort of like seems to like stop and settle, and suddenly just starts rushing down to the ground, and all these crows just start hitting the ground like this, not like with force, but like they're coming into land. And so from this like crazy flaming cloud that you saw, which split into two, suddenly you see the edge of the waterfall, the top of the path, is now just covered in roosting undead crows like this. So they're just like sort of everywhere like that. And they also seem to be like waddling around. It's the weirdest thing. It actually stops you both in your tracks. And the others, you sort of turn around, and I mean, you're not really paying attention, but Mary Louise also stops and turns. The rest of you, Tom, I'm going to say the rest of you are going to reach the outpost in a minute. And you just stop and turn. You see these two, this massive of undead crows just sitting there. And it's the weirdest thing. Can you please make an initiative test, please, Bondo? Sorry, intelligence test, please.
Ooh.
That's
Intelligence test
Yeah.
passed.
You passed. Okay. It's bizarre. It's really, even for undead, they should still follow certain like rules, you think, being that they are kind of like creatures, sort of like the creatures that they were.
Look out!
It just seems a bit weird that you can't discern what the fuck is going on. Like it's really weird. It's really strange, and it's a bit freaky. You can also sense a sort
I
of like
think we killed the one. I think we killed the one that could see us, so they can't see us. So they're going, "Oh, threat over."
Is that your supposition?
That's my supposition.
Excellent. Prepare
Let's
to
see.
be completely wrong. Okay. So-
Hey, mullered.
so-
Knowing you, mullered.
You turn and say you literally turn to the other dwarf, and you say along the lines of, "Oh well, of course, what actually happened is we put the fear of God into them, haven't we? They're basically now afraid to come towards us, and I think I think with all good reason that we should be pretty much that should be the lot of them. I think, and if you ask me, this entire endeavour is pretty much going to be over now." And then you just hear this. Sorry, 1 second. Oh my god, I almost queued this up properly. I didn't quite get there in time. Hang on a second, folks. Damn it. That's what you hear. Can you hear that?
No.
We can't.
Oh,
We
damn
can't.
it. Can you not hear that?
I bet the audience can. I'll check.
Did
Audience.
the audience hear that? Did the audience hear that? Otherwise, I have to
hear
try and
Please tell us
reproduce
what's
it.
going on, audience.
Oh, fuck me.
Audience, what do we hear?
I don't think they heard that. Maybe they heard that. I'll try and do it again.
It's like a radio play without
Like that.
radio. It sounded
Excuse
like
me.
a burp.
Yeah, that really hurt. That really hurt my throat. Okay, so you heard, you basically, you hear this awful noise. It's basically like Godzilla screeching.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, I heard a snippet of Godzilla. All right.
Okay, it's like
Okay.
Godzilla screeching. And out of what seems to be kind of like, I don't know where it comes from, but it's basically over the lip, like from over here, out of like what's roosting on what looks to be a very small mountain. You suddenly see a little bit of the mountain, you hear this scream, and all of your attention goes to it from the other side, kind of the other side of the Millie Valley. And this thing just lifts. And it looks like a small bird, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it just curves around and just lands like this.
Oh,
And it is a fucking enormous undead lizard type winged thing. And it
They
is just,
got
it's just
mummy.
rearing at you and screaming and bellowing. And it starts
so-
like
so-
padding forward.
So they didn't need to. They didn't attack us because they didn't need to attack us.
No, I think these were like hors d'oeuvres, basically, mate.
you know that thing I said about we've got them on the ropes?
Yeah. I may have been wrong.
So very quickly, Bondo.
We need a Mary Louise Butterford quote.
Yeah, we
need a
do.
Mary Louise Butterford quote, Neil.
Shit! And she just starts running immediately, and you
She goes,
shit, shit. She starts running. Bondo, the other dwarf, is now back away. Can you please, you and he, make a fear test? I'm going to say. This is your cool, whatever your cool is. What's your cool, please? 98? Did you just roll that?
Yeah.
Did you just roll a 98?
just
That's a
stopped
critical
my bridges,
failure,
didn't I?
sir. That's a critical
It's brown
failure.
trouser time.
That's shitting yourself time in quite fundamentally interesting ways. Okay, so for the failure you take an automatic insanity point, please. But for the critical
Another
fail,
one?
you're going
Great.
to take another D3. Because it's just broken your tiny little mind.
Hang on, I'm
So
trying to
take-
find where my vast collection of insanity points are.
So
One second.
D3 plus 1, and that's how many insanity points you're going to take. And let's see what happens.
Oh
to
my
that.
god, I'm going to be a barking. I'm going to be
You're going to
King
be
Zog,
completely
aren't I?
fucking mad, yeah. So D3 plus 1, please. It's a D4. Okay, roll a D. No, it's
That's
D3,
where's
not
oh, there's-
D4. It's a D3, not D4.
Okay.
It's automatically 1. So D3 plus 1. 2. 3 insanity points. What is your grand total of insanity points right now, sir? Pretty
I'm
sure.
gonna find them first. Hang on. Where
Pretty
the
sure
hell
you
are
have.
they?
Pretty
I've got
sure
my
you're gonna have to
sheets.
make a test. Oh, is that one of our players not having their character sheet to hand?
Oh, I have
when we're
3
doing something
already.
You have 3
I
already?
now have 6 insanity points.
You now have 6. This is now an automatic check on the insanity table to see if you get a
I'm
disorder.
having insanity.
So please roll, just like Call of Cthulhu, folks. Like they can get damaged by like the horrific things they see and experience.
You
So
get too many insanity points, you go a bit nuts.
you go a bit
basically.
barking, yeah. It's like it's
Yeah. He's
So-
hand one stop short of barking.
So yeah, all right. So roll your
Ready?
D100, please, sir. It's against your cool. You need to get under your cool. 53 is under your cool.
My cool is CL, right? 31. Okay, no.
Not even with
No.
luck.
That's it.
Okie dokie. Here we go. Okay. So you now have
Chip
a
and switch.
disorder. We're not sure what that disorder is. I'm going to work it out on the fly. I might even roll the table. Who the fuck knows? Dealer's choice. Okay, so you've completely lost it. Your pupils go totally white. You're just go. All we can hear from you is like that. And you feel yourself being shouted at and then dragged back by the dwarf who passed his test. And also Mary Louise Butterford comes back and looks at you and goes, Bondo, and just like, she slaps you on the face and you just don't even respond. And she just starts dragging you and dragging you back. Your eyes sort of are rolling in your head. This is just the most monstrous, fucked up, crazy, weird thing with wings you've ever seen. And it has terrified you to your soul. and it's advancing. And it's like a lizard, dinosaur, fucking winged dragon thing. It's fucking terrifying, and it's also undead on top of that. So yeah, that's what's happening. Cool. In the meantime, by the way, folks, you should know that other things are afoot. So Bondo, I'm going to just make you black out a little bit, if that's okay. So you basically pass out, and you just feel yourself being dragged back. You come to a bit later on with the sound of smashing, of like like that. You sort of come to your senses, and you find yourself lying on a very cold slab in what feels like a very cool room, a very cold, cool room. And in front of you, you see these massive like iron doors. There are some barricades on these two windows, and you're in a kind of what looked like it was an outpost, but the wooden stairs have all rotten and fallen down. So basically, it's like you're in a very, very tall tube, but you're at the bottom of it. And you're over here on a slab. You see around you the Rutger's character is just sort of like been climbing up to try and shut one of the windows. He's bolted it through. You see the dwarf who's like chatting fervently with one of the humans. They're having an argument. And Mary Louise Butterford is like next to you, trying to putting some water, like feeding you water basically. And you see the old woman who's standing on top, trying to pry something open with a crowbar. From where she got that, who knows? And one of the humans is trying to help her. And you look over and you can't quite believe your eyes, but you think she's standing on top of what looks to be an old yet possibly serviceable steam tank.
Holy shit!
So you just sort of stare, and you literally you think you've gone mad, because actually you have. Yeah, and also your dreams, by the way, I should say, were filled with stuff of nightmare. You saw friends' faces that came back to you out of nowhere. You saw horrific things, and you've also started remembering what it was that you forgot. You see this thing, and it's like a steam tank. You actually think you're dreaming still. Because in your dream, in the memories that come back to you, you remember going through what is known affectionately as the Chaos Waits on a special mission in a steam tank that was protected by arcane rituals and spells, with a small army that were all taking these ritual amulets to try and protect them from the ravages of the Chaos Wastes. You were on some kind of mission to find something quite earth-shattering. And you were one of the commanders of this. You were like not the highest ranking member, but you were quite high up. And you were actually the engineer on the steam tank, on this Imperial Dwarven-made steam tank. It wasn't anything like the one you're looking at, because this is like clearly some centuries old version, like the original Mark 1. But you would definitely start remembering this weird trip that you were on. And you have the other flashes of memories of fighting these awful creatures, of all your friends slowly one by one succumbing to madness or mutation or being killed. And it was until it was only the dwarves and one of the halflings that was left on this expedition. And you remember this fierce battle, and you had to deploy the mortars and cannons, and something exploded, and you remember getting kicked in the head violently by something, and then the world blacked out. And that's sort of your dream. You sort of remember all these things. And then you sort of wake up, and the first thing you see is a steam tank, but just a very old one, rusted and looking like it's a bit shit. But the tracks still seem to work, and it seems to be like functional maybe, because the old lady's already been poking around by the looks of it, and so one of the humans is trying to help her, and they've got the hatch open, so presumably it's...
The old lady, i.e. me, shouts down to him, "Oh, so you're awake, are you? Well, don't just lie there. Get up here and give us a hand."
Back to Irish, but I'm allowing it.
I'm settling. I settled on Irish a while ago. It's just my Irish is fucking variable, but I thought I landed it there.
I like it.
I landed it.
All right, it's nice, man.
Right.
Okay.
Steam tank time, babies.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I think that's the only way out.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got like an undead wyvern closing in on us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think it's here, actually. There's no closing to do.
Yeah, the doors are rattling somewhat. These two massive doors are rattling. This thing also, you can hear other...
It's closed.
You can hear... it's closed, yeah. You're closed in. You've closed yourself in this space. But you have no food, and there is like no way out. And you also now hear there's a lot of crows now gathering as well. It doesn't sound like there's a cloud again, which is a small mercy, I guess. But this thing's big enough, it probably doesn't need it. Excuse me. What you can do, folks?
Right. Well,
Okay, well,
if
do you
I'm
wanna
getting my knowledge back, then maybe it's time I.
Well, yes and no.
embraced
You remember you
steam
had a
tank.
previous life. You remember that you were a soldier in the Imperial Army. You remember that you were an engineer. You remember you worked on a steam tank for the special mission, special team steam tank. You don't remember the people's names, but you remember their faces, and you remember bits and pieces like that. So yes, to a point, Jim, I would say.
Would it be in character to sort of snap back and just start prepping the tank?
It will be, yeah. I think that's not without reason. Yeah, it's the one thing you can probably hold on to. You feel basically very weird, by the way. Like you feel like your head does not feel right.
Yeah, like I'm on autopilot.
A little bit. Yeah, you're sort of not really functioning. Yeah, it's like you're in. It's basically just like you're in the dream. Like you haven't entirely.
The
Sure.
hilarious thing, the madness he's just acquired is that he thinks he knows how to run the tank.
Yes, actually, I'm standing on top of a crate holding a banana. Going, ah, you've got a steam tank! And everyone just
Oh
thinks I'm
no,
not
you're
nuts.
not.
Oh, the pantometer's gone off again.
Ah.
Hey!
Amazing.
Right. Anyway, joking aside, so this weird sort of autopilot thing, I'm going by rote, I'm going by training, and I have no idea how I know how I have all this stuff.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna...
General question, will we all fit in that tank?
Neil?
Oh, don't ask me. I'm not the tank expert. That's a question for Bondo, sure.
No, this is true.
That's a Bondo
Yeah, but
question.
Bondo doesn't know he's a tank expert, apart from the fact he suddenly finds himself cranking.
I mean, visually, how big is it?
If you're talking about like an appraisal, like an eye view appraisal, yeah, you can probably all squeeze in there. You've also lost one of the humans to another crow when you shut the door. He got like panged in the back of the head and he's out for the count. There's only what you see in front of you. There's Mary Louise Butterford who's here. Bondo who's starting to crank up the tank. There's the dwarf here, although he's got cut a few times and he's wasted a few of his ammo shots. There is the cowardly human, and then there's this other human that looks pretty banged up too, and which you know, Tom, actually. This other human's a human called Jacques, and Jacques is like just a simple labourer farmhand. He's nothing special. He's like one of those guys that would never really amount to much. He's just probably luckier than most, I guess. But he's like trying to help you. You've basically wrenched open the hatch. You've had a good look around and you've tried to like clean it up a little bit, open the windows of the steam tank thing. You have no idea how to use it, but you know like enough to be able to open hatches and sort of like look at things that you probably shouldn't touch, and sort of understand that there's a furnace there that you should and also in the corner over here you see a whole bunch of like coal and stuff that's just been sitting there for God knows how long. It's petrified, but it's still burnable. So you could definitely help get a file, get Jacques to do that. Bondo, you come over to the steam tank and you sort of like cranking and looking around. You start getting thumping headaches, and your vision swims a little bit, but you sort of blink it off. But you've got this headache, which you can't really tell. It's throbbing from the source of the injury that you've been carrying for a long time. Can you please take a -5 to all characteristics apart from weapon skill and initiative? They can remain the same, and ballistic skill as well.
Weapon skill, ballistic skill stay the same. Everything else gets a -5.
Yeah, initiative can stay the same too.
Okay.
But it's only your thinking stats basically take a hit, -5. Hello?
Okay, writing those down now. Dex as well, or?
Anything that's thinking or like that kind of stuff, yes. Only things that aren't weapon skill.
Okay, so
initiatives.
Dex is no.
It should be considered muscle memory, dude.
Kind of.
That.
Dex, well, not yes and no. If you're trying to put like a medicine pouch together, I would say that takes a lot of like shaky hands and stuff. I would say no. Dexterity is about like manipulating things with your fingers.
Yeah, that's muscle memory. It's in your body. It's not your head.
Yes
Okay.
and no. It's yes and no.
Anyway.
I'm the James Master. fuck
Anyway,
you.
okay, here's the
I'm the
thought.
Games Master.
If I need it, I'll ask you. Sound deal?
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so you can jump into the steam engine if you want and have a little route around. The door goes
Okay.
again.
Let's get the show on the road anyway.
Yeah, man.
I
That's what
wholeheartedly
we're all
agree.
here for. We're just here to see that fucking baby run, right?
Yeah. What do we need to do?
Oh yeah.
I reckon if I know anything, I reckon this thing So let's start feeding it coal.
Okay.
I mean, what else do we need to do? Is Bondo gonna Bondo, this is your moment, man.
I know. I know. Give us a minute. Right. Okay. You get me coal. And he called, and he's gonna get the fire thing. Oh Jesus, my head. Oh no, not Jesus. Sorry. Oh God's my head. My God, he's bit. Jesus, it's like the last time I went drinking. Oh right.
Mad.
Okay. I need coal. Lots and lots of coal. Get
When
me
Bondo
coal.
says Jesus, he's actually talking about Jesus, the
Yeah, he's talking about Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
a known mate of his from back home.
Apologies, folks. That was not quite right. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So, for Mary Louise Butterford has sort of come in, and she's like, you give her some orders. Basically, I'm going to help you. So basically, you give orders to everybody around to do various jobs. And you're just going through like an automated process of what, and you don't remember why you know. You know why you know, but you don't remember ever learning this. This just comes to your knowledge, like just rises to the surface of your mind. And it also helps you get clarity, so the headaches die down. You still have the minuses to your stats, but the headaches are no longer like bad. They've kind of waned and gone like a wave. Jacques comes down and starts literally lifting sacks of coal. He passes a whole bunch of like flint and tinder and all these kind of bits and pieces he finds around. Mary Louise Butterford is also helping gather some bits and pieces. She's looking through. There's lots of rusted weaponry, nothing usable at all. But she's sort of doing her best to see if she can salvage anything that might be able to help you, like rope and shit like that.
Slap Bondo in the back and go, I reckon you can take care of this here. I'm going to go look out. My accent just fucked again. I'm going to go and climb out of the tank and climb up on top of it to basically act.
To basically what?
Act as a lookout.
Yeah, actually, you look around and you spot this little cool funky thing right in front of you here, which is, just this thing here, which is kind of like this little hole, which has got its own little hatch, and it's got this little funky, this like crank that you kind of wind around, and it turns you around like this, into a 360 direction. It's really cool, but you can just like, sort of like a little chair, and it's got its own little hatch. And you can put the hatch over your top, and then you can like pop in and pop out of it, and it's pretty cool. And it seems to be like the purpose is to have a little look around, which is kind of cool.
Cool. But I was wanting to go on the outside of this.
This is on the outside. It's on like the top. So if I'm going to do a cross section of
Oh,
this
it's
thing.
like a separate sort of turret, basically.
Yeah, it's like a little turret like that, and then you've got the sort of other one here, and it's like this. With
called a
and this
cupola.
big fucking cannon thing at the front, which I didn't tell you about, by the way. It's like this. It's a big fuck off cannon like that. And and actually Bondo sort of like pushed a few, like cranked a few things, and all these little kind of like cannons wheel forward and come out the sides like this, like chunk, 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 chunk. And this big cannon goes chunk, chunk, and comes out the front like that, just pops out.
Yeah, we can make some mischief with that.
Big greasy spot. Yes.
Alright, cool. So what's the plan, folks? You know what? We're gonna have to do a montage. We have to do a fucking montage, aren't we?
Yes, please.
All
Let's
right.
get this going.
Okay, can somebody get me the Eye of the Tiger? Jim, this is your party.
Hang on, working on it. Yeah, I'm going for it. Hang on.
All right, so once we got Eye of the Tiger, let's do a fucking montage. Because we all know what we want, folks. We don't want to see what we're going to do. We want to see the fucking action, see that steam tank take on a fucking undead wyvern, right? Let's just catch the fucking chase. All right, Jim.
Working on it.
Oh, come on.
Hang on.
Hit it.
Hang on. Oh, gotta get past all the. Would you like to sign up to
Just
YouTube?
fucking hit the buttons, dude. Hit the buttons.
Video will play after ad.
Oh my god. Alright, so Jack starts getting the coal.
Yeah, watching an advert for What's It. I've already got What's It. So
Shut up! He starts putting the coal in. The dwarf starts taking a position. He's lining up the cannons, moving forward. And then suddenly we hear the music kicking in, finally, very much. Mary Louise Butterford starts handing out sandwiches, which you don't know where she got those from. The coward is running backwards and forwards, biting his nails, looking very worried. Doesn't quite know what to do. You come over and slap him a few times in the face. He sort of falls to his knees crying. Then he gives you a hug.
Then he's standing back up again, telling him he's a big boy and to get his shit together. Then he gets his shit together and starts sitting. There's not enough room for him though, so he's got to be on the back of the behind the turret, the main turret thing here. Same with Jacques, he can't fit in. But Mary Louise Butterford, the dwarf, you and also the crazy old woman are sort of in the tank or in various departments of the tank. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
What's the bad thing's doing, by the way?
what's that?
Can I see through this turret I'm in?
Yeah, your turret actually controls like these little two guns here, these two forward-facing cannons, and you sort of like can swivel them around like that. One joystick, like a joystick kind of control, and you can move it around. It's got like an elevation of 45 degrees, and it moves left and right 45 degrees as well. So you can fire basically like an arc like this and like that. And then you've got this big fucking cannon at the front here, which Bondo can control. And then the dwarf is driving. And then Mary Louise can act as like a rearmorer. And then these two dudes are just going to be stuck on the top of this thing, fighting off, I guess, anything that tries to peck its way in. Make sense? Sounds fucking great. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah. I'm liking this.
Boom! All right, tell me exactly if you have any kind of plan whatsoever. Otherwise,
What are the bad guys doing? I keep on asking.
The bad guys are just battering down this door. This door is now looking like this. It's like that. In fact, all of you like are getting like ready to like kick some shit until one of you realizes, the dwarf realizes, wait, somebody's got to open the bloody door.
I'll open the door.
All right. So you hop off.
Through the fucking door.
You hop off.
I was thinking actually.
Yeah, you hop off, get to the doorway, which is right in the center. It's like a big, massive pin system that you pull these two pins apart and actually drops the sort of like the guard that's over both doors and releases.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah, you say that. You say that. Adventurers ready. Undead wyvern bastard ready.
Ready.
All right. So, are you going to drop this thing?
Yeah, that was right.
Are you going to drop it?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So,
Drop it like it's hot.
So at this point, the dwarf just hits this kind of like button, and all this fire and all this like all the heat it's really fucking hot inside this steam tank, by the way. All this heat that's been building up and building up, all this steam that's been building up. He just hits this button, and this sort of like this weird contraption which has been elevated sort of beyond the top of the steam engine like this, just comes out like that and just blows this huge, massive cloud of steam, and the whole thing just lurches, like wants to lurch forward, but he's got his hand on this like massive bar, which is basically. Are you playing Thomas? Are you playing fucking Postman Pat? You know what? I'll allow it. Play Postman Pat, and this thing's gonna steam out through these fucking double
Thomas
doors.
the Tank Engine.
Is it Thomas the Tank Engine? Even better. Is Thomas the Tank Engine? Great.
I'm going to kill you, said Thomas.
Suddenly, the rather large wyvern.
Dead in the Fat Controller.
No, play Thomas the Tank Engine. It's in my head now. I want it. Put it on Spotify or something, right? Just do it proper. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to try and find it on Spotify. Okay. Thomas and Friends. Here we fucking go. That's it. Okay, initiative orders, folks. We'll never be able to play this on YouTube now, but hey, there you go. All right, so Clem, I believe you have initiative. The dwarf is driving, so Bondo is in the command space. Bondo, you are going to be commanding a tank, which means you have to tell him what you want. You've also got control of the main cannon, and the old woman is controlling the two forward cannons, which are like mini cannons, basically. Thank you, Thomas and Friends. Oh,
Right.
Jesus Christ. Unleashed a monster. Alright, so at this point, it's kind of like all ready to go. This thing is about to lurch forward. The handbrake is on, but the second that baby comes off, it's going to fly forward. The doors are released. What's your name of your character again called?
It is Rutger.
Okay, so Rutger,
but
tell me how you're going to do this, maybe.
Right, okay, well, I'm standing between a very annoyed tank and a very annoyed monster. So I need to step to the side to let the tank go so I can leap on the back of it.
Okay.
I also need to get my boat out ready and hope that they get the tank moving before anything tries to take my head off.
Excellent.
Really.
So as
I
you
think
do...
that's about the best I can do.
Cool, okay, so that's sort of
Discretion is the better part of valor.
That's sort of the plan. Having said that, folks, we just want to wind time back before we go any further. This is like quite a big deal, quite a big moment. Is there anything that any of you want to say, like one of those like moments? Do you know what I mean? When in movies where they take a little reprieve, somebody says something like turning. In fact, Clem, I feel like you should say something.
Right, cool. Whilst I'm opening the door, yes?
Yeah, whilst you're opening the door.
Whilst it's been wonderful to be here, I'd just like to say, thanks for the memory.
And as he does that, the doors open and you see this enormous goddamn fucking wyvern standing right at the door. Please make an initiative test, Clem.
Sweet.
And it just chomps down and... I just couldn't resist the Deep Blue Sea moment, sorry.
That's fine.
Oh, did you just Samuel L. Jackson him?
Yep.
It's possible.
Oh,
So you need a dodge
no.
blow on this one, so what's your initiative?
My initiative is... Initiative 41.
Okay,
And
so
I'm
you need a
rolling now.
41 or under. Ooh, 22! Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, you do that, and as you turn round, and you just go, oh, bollocks. And then you just dive out the way as this thing just smashes down onto the ground, robbing me of a very entertaining death, and sad Neil of more souls. It just smashes down, and it just roars straight at the steam tank, and its wings just go out like this, like that, and it just roars at all of you inside the tank. And at that moment, you just hear this, boss?
Fire!
Okay, so this is going to be a ballistic skill test, but you're going to put plus 20 to your ballistic skill. And you're going
Don't miss. I'm in the way of the barrel, mate.
You're gonna plus
Dive.
another
You dive
10.
out of the way, you're good.
It's point blank range. You're gonna hit another 10 onto that roll. Okay?
So my ballistic skill of
Is this-
29.
Yeah. Is this the main?
what,
This is the
sorry?
main cannon, right?
Yes.
So plus 30 onto your hits, point blank range. So 81. Somehow you still failed. That's amazing. All right. So you just.
Not even with luck. Hang on. Let's have a look. Plus 30, plus 29. That's 59, plus 10, 69. No, you're right.
Even like in the past. All right. So you just go fire, and you kick it, and as you do it, it doesn't because it's so old. Like the mechanisms that drop the pin to fire this like shell, because they're shells, not cannonballs, doesn't quite. It just goes clink, clink, clink like that, and you hit it again. And as you do so, I guess the wyvern kind of gets a feeling of what you're doing and just raises up enough into the air. And it just things fires, but the wyvern's no longer there, and it just sort of flutters back on its wings and just goes and lands here. But unfortunately, your shot sort of passed its feet as it like flapped back out the way. And at that point, the dwarf, whose name you're too rude to ask, just kicks down the handbrake, and the thing just lurches forward. It's going pretty fast as well. So, Clem, you've got initiative. Are you going to have to try and make an initiative roll to jump onto this thing? And it's moving way quicker than you would give it credit for. It's got like a movement of 4 or 5 right now.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Critical fail coming up. You want that now?
Yes, please.
Excellent.
76, almost, not quite. All right, 76 is a failure, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you sort of like go along to it, and you start running along the side, going, and then Jacques sort of comes up to your side over here and goes, "Give me a hand, man! Give me a hand!" And you go, and you hold his hand out. And he holds his hand out. And I'm just gonna be a real bastard. So at this point, you're holding your hands out, and you're sort of looking at each other, and you look forwards, and you just see like a whole bunch of crows flying around, and you're like, "Fucking hell!" And you sort of like look back at the guy, going, "Give me your," and you just see that Jack's still holding his hand out to you, but Jack has no head now, and a crow has just swooped past, and his body is still there, holding a hand out to you.
Nice.
Like in this pose, actually, this is a really good pose for this head. You can't see his head right now, and he's just holding his hand out, and then he just sort of pitches off and just falls over, and he just like drops to the floor. And now you're running
Sad
behind.
Neil is hungry today.
Sad Neil's fucking hungry. In fact, I'm going to drop him. I'm going to drop every time we kill one of these like NPC PCs, they go into Sad Neil. So this is our first victim, Jacques, and here we go. There you go.
Drenched in blood. Fantastic.
Next up, I believe it is now. That was Tim's go. It's Tom's go. Tom, what's going on, kid?
Why is the Daka turret, right?
You're in the Daka Daka cut, yeah, in the Daka Daka turret, yeah.
What's happened, like, as we've started rumbling forward, what is the the undead dragon beast doing?
So what it did was basically hop backwards as the steam engine main cannon
We're
misfired and fired.
moving towards it, basically.
It was moving towards you, and then now it's like landed. Now it's moving back towards this cannon. By the way, like it blurted out this huge fucking like fireball flame thing, and and it was really fucking impressive. Sadly, it just didn't hit anything. It hit like a whole bunch of crows and like smashed them to pieces. But there's so many of them, it's like
Right.
it isn't going to make it much of a difference. But this thing is fucking powerful. It rocked the whole steam engine back, and then it lurched forward when he took the handbrake off.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna take aim with my Daka gun then.
Yep, sure.
And,
They're dual firing, so you're going to hit only one target, but it's going to hit them twice.
so, well, it's got to be the big fucking monster.
Sure. As you start aiming, you can give you a moment to think about that. You also see like a whole bunch of these crows are overhead, and they're all starting to do that sort of attack run down towards you. That they did before.
Well,
So
in
there's a
that
whole
case,
bunch of these like.
take on the immediate threat.
Okay.
So yeah, I pull the lever which like lifts the guns upwards
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Then I'm basically like Luke, you know, like so,
Basically,
you know,
Skywalkering the shit out of this. Yeah.
like you know how he's like woohoo, swinging around and shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing, but I'm an old lady in
How does that
badass.
sound?
That penis shit, kid.
Just don't get cocky.
Don't get cocky, kid. Right, what am I rolling under my bow skill?
Ballistic
bow
skill, yeah, ballistic skill, straight ballistic skill, nothing else because you don't have any training in this. What is that?
It's an 18, I believe
That's a
that's.
hit. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that you can hit. Let's see, you can say hit D6 targets for a strength 4 hit each. So it's D6, and we'll just take whatever you roll. Yeah, we'll just do it that way. So D6 targets. I'm just gonna say you're gonna wipe them out. Actually, you don't have to roll to like damage them. They're just wiped out. So you take out 3 birds in one shot. Basically, you just sort of strafe this like mini cloud.
Yeah.
And like 3 of these fucking things just like flop to the side, get ripped apart. And the
Chalk it up.
Yeah, chalk it up. The mini cloud. Oh yeah, that's right. We're still doing that shit, aren't we? Oh god, I regret. So yeah, you sort of like hit the mini cloud that's coming towards you, and what it does, it knocks it off its path, so it doesn't come towards you anymore. It sort of veers off. So basically, just in game terms, you're not going to be able to like kill all the birds like this, but these little Daka guns are like anti-aircraft guns. So each time these clouds move towards you, if you hit enough of them, it's going to veer off and not actually land on the tank. That's what this is for. Make sense?
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Next up, I guess, is this is Bondo now, isn't it? Bondo.
Right. Well, what's the reload like on this thing?
1 round to reload, and then 1 round to aim fire. And you can aim for an extra round for extra bonus points if you want.
Okay, well, we need to reload then.
Okay, so we can tell Mary Louise, because you have told her how to do it, but you haven't told her that you need to reload.
What does
think like a
Mary
tank
Louise?
commander.
Neil, what does Mary Louise say when she's reloading?
Not exactly a good start to our relationship. No equality here. Next time you reload. We're going to talk about
Promise
this
I'll
later.
take it somewhere nice next time.
We're going to talk about this. Have a very long talk with this.
Yeah, she ain't happy, man. She feels a little bit like this is a little traditional. She's not down with it. She's quite a modern halfling, man.
I mean, she's alive.
Yeah, but you know, this is their relationship. It's complicated, mate.
Yeah. Bondo's yelling at her.
Yeah.
Reload!
That's the thing. Bondo's yelling at her in battle tongue. She doesn't speak. Well, she does speak battle tongue, but maybe he just didn't do it in a cool way. Like he was really snappy. And she's like, "This is a high pressure situation, but come on, let me go."
Oh, sweetheart. Would you
Yeah,
be a darling?
He
and
switched.
reload
He
the person that
basically,
really needs to kill that
patronised her. He basically patronised her. He patronised her whilst he was telling her how to use this in the first place. And that just,
Did I just gnome-splain her?
You basically gnome-splained her, and she's like, not cool. Just not cool. Like, you gnome-splained how to reload the thing, which is pretty obvious, but you gnome-splained it. So yeah, not great. All right. So yeah, it's gonna take 1 round. She begrudgingly starts doing that to save all of you, and she just goes reloading like that, and she's sort of reloading. So the thing's reloaded. Will be reloaded next round. You can still take orders. You can tell, for instance, this is where this wyvern is. This is where the tank is. You can turn the tank like one direction or the other, or it can go forwards like that. But if you turn, you can only turn in 45-degree arcs. It's on tracks. It's got the tracks are pretty much working mostly.
I'll stay forward.
Okay. So you give the order for the dwarf who you're so rude that you haven't bothered asking his name to go forward, and he sort of goes, "Aye, Bondo," because he knows your name because he listens.
Oh.
Sorry, that's a pretty bit of a dig. Anyway.
Oh, no, hang on. I could do it casually. It's just me, dear boy, would you be an absolute superstar?
God, you're
Carry on in that direction.
God, you're patronising in 2 different languages. It's brilliant. All right. So,
Oh no! I'm trying to be
no,
nice.
you're not. No,
to
he's fine. He goes,
people.
absolutely, capital idea. And he cranks up the accelerator a bit and just lurch even faster forward. Okay, Bondo, can you make an intelligence test, please, very quickly? What? Tom, we didn't hear that.
Okay.
What did you say?
When you said it speeds up, how fast does a steam tank move? Because are they kind of like tractors, or are they more speedy? Are they like...
They're like speedy tractors. So you can go to a maximum movement of 4, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
No, I don't pass.
That's
Not
a
even with love.
56. All right, fair enough. Okay, no worries. You don't pass. That's okay. So that's your round over. New round. The crows start launching up. There's more clouds, little clouds, like death clouds, coming your way like this. Oh God, come on. Like this and like that and like this. These clouds are sort of pepper potting in the skies, and they're sort of hurtling themselves towards all of you. It is now Clem's go. Clem, what you can do? You're sort of now trailing behind these things.
Wait for me!
Okay, so Tom, Tom and Bondo, you can clearly hear the human shouting for you.
Can I try and
We'll
get
bait
on
for
the
the
tank
crows,
again?
right?
One at a time, thanks. What do you say, Clem?
Can I try and get on the tank again?
Yeah, you can. You can make an initiative roll to try and like jump onto the back of it.
Not that fast, Clint.
Fantastic.
You've got a movement of 5, so you're gaining up to it, so you can totally do it. So initiative roll, please, mate. It is moving though. You can Indiana Jones this shit.
Okay, cool. Why is it not rolling?
You got it?
Almost. A few seconds. I've got to highlight them because I've got lag.
Yeah. You got it?
And you're a bit quiet.
This was not a roll. This was a weird thing.
No.
You know what, I'm going to
Just
roll it for you.
Roll it. I've got
I'm
too
gonna
much
roll for
lag. I've got too much lag.
All right. So that is a 39.
We're on initiative, yeah?
Yeah, that's an initiative. So that's a pass.
Yeah, it's 41.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So you managed to jump up onto the back of the steam wagon, and you managed to crawl your way back up near the tracks, and you're just like above the tracks now, one of the little kind of pauldrons above the tracks. Basically, you're on the corner, right there where your position was supposed to be. You look very enviously at both Bondo and also the old lady, who are sitting quite comfortably in parts of the armour of the tank, which is not cool. You're very exposed, and you're.
Oh yeah, I'm perfectly well aware of my situation.
Yeah. You can also see these little clouds coming towards the steam tank as well. These little kind of clouds of things coming towards you.
Well, lads, death or victory, I feel.
God, does he ever shut up? Okay, so moving forward, it's now Tom's go. Tom, you're on the deck of guns. There's 2 clouds, like 4 clouds. Let's make them a little clearer for you. So I'm just going to make this help you a little bit to make them better. So each time you see a V, that's like a cloud of these things. Like 1, 2, 3, and then let's say 4 back there. Okay? That should make it a bit clearer.
Okay. I guess I'm going to go for another attack as they come in on another run.
Okay. So which one are you going to focus
on? Whichever is closest. I don't know. Whichever is closest.
Okay, they're equidistant, whichever one's closest is going to go for. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's ballistic skill again. You're only plus 10 because you got the hang of it, I'm going to say.
Great. Amazing. That's nice. Thank you.
Welcome.
47. I think that might be a miss.
Okay. What's your ballistic skill plus 10?
My ballistic skill plus 10. Yeah, that is a miss. It's 39.
Okay.
But yeah.
So these, so this one, this flock down here and this other flock down there, both sort of like start their attack runs, like this. This one's going to attack Klim, and this one's going to actually go for you, Tom. So you can. These things are going to try and land and basically start pecking at you. And there's like 4 or 5, like a couple per cloud, if that makes sense, a few per cloud. We're going to do like an attack run. Yeah, I'll do this away from you guys. So the first one's going to attack you, and that is a total miss. That misses you. So the cloud, you sort of duck underneath the. Oh shit! You duck underneath the hatch, Tom. So you pull the hatch way down under her, and you sort of hide underneath, and you pop back up again, and sort of shake your fist at them, and you're back on the Daka guns. The second one is going to strike you, Klim. So what happens is, like, you basically pop out and you go, "Well, thanks for waiting, you bastards!" like that. And as you do so, a crow flies at your face, and you sort of like duck behind the main turret, and you come back and you start looking at the flying away crow, and you start shouting some profane, like, "Fuck you!" And it's like shaving your fist. At that moment, you get hit in the back with a whole cloud that you didn't see coming. It's going to hit you for double damage because it was a critical success. So it's double damage you. And it is going to be... sorry, what am I doing this for? I already rolled that. I'm going to be rolling the dice. I need to roll this over here. So it's double damage. It's going to hit you for a... Oh, sorry, hang on a second. Let me do that again properly. So it's going to hit you for a 6. Okay, that is a 6. Fair enough. And that is going to... I don't know why I'm rolling it. It's pointless. 82. Okay, so 6, that's 12. That's 16 points of damage.
Ooh,
right. Do you want a fate point, Neil?
You don't have any fate points now. You don't have any fate points? You don't have any fate points?
Dodzy, have you got any...
Do you have anything to ditch out the way of this?
Any last words? Yes, I do, actually. Okay.
Oh.
Toughness, armor, you got to take those off.
If you have it.
I'll just do the maths. Okay, so we have a toughness of 5. We have a mail shirt if it hits my chest.
Yeah.
And I have a shield which is...
It's 9 points of damage left.
Yeah, that's me dead.
Okay, cool. All right.
That's me dead.
So
kill me, Neil. Kill me hard.
So can you please give me a little rundown of what just happened? Bearing in mind the first crow goes past, you dodge that one, and you sort of like turn and go, "Fuck you, crow," or something like that. Can you just give me a better way of doing that? Because I think it didn't do justice.
Okay, right. Well, the first one comes at me, and I duck down and sweep past, and I turn around and go, "Ah, bastard, never!" Oh.
Yeah.
And I look down. And where my left nipple was, is a beak.
Okay, cool.
And then there's another, and where my right nipple was a beak. I rub them gently, then I fall off the tank.
Okay, well actually, as you start falling off the tank, the rest of the cloud thud into you, and they just go dum, 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 and the whole cloud now lifts you aloft like a beautiful pincushion in the air. And you sort of float around like this. Yeah, like that. And you float around.
People are like arms.
And you float around in front of like this steam tank like this. And you're upside down with like a pincushion. And then you just go all the way to the wyvern. And the wyvern just rears its head and you just drop down its mouth. Straight into the wyvern's guts. And
Neil, you're denying sad Neil his meal.
I'm not. I'm just saying that's what happens. And now we go to sad Neil.
Now
sad Neil gets to eat again. He will not go hungry tonight, folks. All right, there you go.
Gentlemen, it's been emotional.
Klim is out of there. This thing just starts stomping towards all of you now. It is now rearing back. I believe that is now Tom's go. You on the Daka Dakas, sir? You just see this random cow had been taken out.
I'm going to turn on the cloud that just dispatched Brooke.
Okay.
So here we go, rolling.
And you're just like turning in your chair like Daka 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 Daka. Where's your roll?
It's going to be another fail.
62, okay. So basically you sort of try and like give him the dignity of shooting the clouds. You start following the crown around like a 360 thing. Like Daka 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 Daka. And you follow him to the wyvern. And it just like, sort of, you don't quite have the range yet. But it just like fires off and the wyvern just snacks down on this random dude that you don't get to know. And then just start stomping towards you. Cool. Okay, so next up is Bondo, I believe.
Right, the cannon is reloaded, is it not?
It is reloaded, yeah.
Right then, I think it's only fair, really. I fire.
Okay. This thing's now the wyvern's now charging you, so I'm going to give you like weirdly a plus 20 because it's point blank and it's
It's a
in a
bigger
straight
target,
line.
isn't it?
It's a bigger target now as well. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So plus 20 to ballistic skill, so 92. Amazing.
Fuck me.
Amazing. I don't even know how you did that. That's amazing. All right, you fire again, and this wyvern just goes whoosh, and like fucking Matrix dodges around it. It just ducks its head, and this shell just goes and just explodes like that. You do hear this. Look, listen, old boy. I'm all for like keeping up the drama and everything. Could you please fucking hit it? And yeah, he's looking really like nervous. Also, Tom, your character also obviously sees this miss. And you're steaming now full tilt straight towards this
Hammer on the roof, like kick on the metal below me, which I guess is the roof
Yeah.
main, and it fucking sort it out down there.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of the broom action, isn't it? It's like you start brooming the top of the tank to tell them to get their shit together. All right, the dwarf sort of like starts lurching the tank a little bit, and he's heading for a straight line. And you got a free action now, Bondo. What are you going to do? He's looking a bit. You can sort of sense that the dwarf is getting a bit nervous. Like he wants to This is a game of chicken against an undead wyvern, and he's looking real fucking nervous right now.
Right. So in Caslid, of course, Old Bean, we must stay the course. We have two choices here. We can shoot it, or we can run it over. I vote. Either is pretty good.
Okay. So you're just going to ram it, basically.
Yeah, if I can't hit it, I'll hit it.
So how are you going to say that to your dwarven companion?
Well, the funny thing is, as this creature wants to eat us, we are its only target, so it can only really attack us. However, we are in one of your countryman's most wonderful adventures, the steam tank. Now, we are picking up speed, and I dare say that boiler is going to blow at some point. I say we have two choices. We can either go and be eaten, or potentially we can take this thing with us.
Okay.
What do you say, Old Bean?
Goes,
I'm playing to dwarven fatalism here completely.
yeah, so he just sort of blinks at you and goes, full stream it is, and just slams down. He just slams down the throttle, and he just slams down the throttle, and just starts charging towards this thing. And it's just he's not even like trying to avoid it. He's sweating like crazy. He's literally profusely sweating from his brow. He just like looks at you, gives the nod, and just slams this thing to overdrive. The boiler is now starting to really burn hot. Bondo, can you make an initiative test, please? Intelligence test, sorry.
Intelligence,
Yep.
I would pass that with luck.
Okay, you try your luck. Your luck fails, sir. Your luck has run out. Literally.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Alright, this wyvern is now meeting your charge. We're going to have to do like a strength test thing, I guess. Here. Tom, it's your go, I believe, isn't it? Is it still your go now?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a new round. So they're just like charging straight ahead to this thing. You're in the front turret, you've got your dagger guns. The crows that were going to attack you sort of sweep past the tank. And this thing is now just head down charging with its mouth raging. It's just charging on the ground straight towards the steam tank. The steam tank has now been kicked into overdrive. Mary Louise Butterfoot is like, you don't know what she's doing, but she's sort of around. She's no longer reloading shells in yet. And she's just sort of like, holding onto your hand, I guess, Bondo. Bondo, this thing is flying, you're bouncing around, the tracks are going, it's like so much noise. And this thing is now like screeching and raging towards you, is now charging, basically like a game of chicken. And yet the dwarf starts like humming and singing some like godforsaken dwarven like war song. It is your go though, Tom. What are you going to do? You got the dagger guns on you?
I'm going to dagger the wyvern.
Nice, man. All right. So you got ballistic skill. I'm going to give you plus 30. It's straight ahead at you. It's not moving. It's a massive fucking target. And you've got used to these guns. So plus 30 onto your weapon ballistic skill.
Let's hit this thing this time.
37 is a hit.
7 is a hit, yes.
So 2d6, and 6 is automatic criticals.
2d6. Is that a d3? That's a d3.
These are
I'm just
D6.
going to... Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Ruby, thank you. Oh, no.
That's a critical, and that's a 1. So roll your critical again. It's automatic for this skill. So that's a 3, that's a 6, that's a 9, that's a 10. And the Dakan's got strength. That's 14 points of damage. And that's from 2 hits. That's 14 points of damage, let's say.
The bullets rake across the front of the wyvern.
Nice. And it sort of screeches in pain, but it doesn't stop. It's like you literally arc through its wings. It's like shredding half of its wing apart. You go into its neck and into its eyes. It does do this like angry screaming shout, and you've done significant amounts of damage to it, but it hasn't stopped it. And as you do that, Tom, you sort of like you just unload everything that you've got. You just go and something just goes, and these sort of like little cannon guns just start keep whirling around, but nothing's coming out. So you've just like literally used all the ammo.
I'm empty. All right.
Yeah, but this thing's taken a lot of damage, and flecks of it are bursting off, and bits of it are like just smashing around. And you've definitely done quite a lot of damage.
And I'm spent.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that. You've definitely done a lot of damage to this thing. Yeah. Bada.
Okay.
Okay, Bondo, it's your go, sir. You're about a round
stay
apart.
The course. I'm still ramming this thing.
Okay.
Stay the course. Stay the course. If Mary Louise Butsford isn't reloading the cannon, then I'm just doing my best to... I'm going to start singing. I'm joining in with the dwarf.
Okay, you start singing a dwarven... It's a dwarven ditty about bravery and against unwinnable odds. Not a great choice, but there you go, it's dwarves. Okay, cool. So you're just going to stay the course. Okie dokie. We're going to do something a bit funky. You're going to essentially be the steam cannon. The steam cannon has an effective strength of 5 versus the wyvern's effective strength. You're going to roll 50 or under to make a quote-unquote hit on target. The wyvern is going to do the same. And we're going to work out and see how this is going to work out. Okay, so you're going to roll now, folks. Okay, there's a failure from both of us. Okay, so this thing just charges. You charge straight into the wyvern, and both you and the dwarf start screaming and Kazled off your heads. And even, I guess, what's McGinty doing? Tom?
Sorry.
Tom's gone.
Are you talking to me? Sorry.
Yes, mate.
It's hiding in the kitchen, I reckon.
He's getting a snack.
Sorry,
the most exciting part.
I was putting the can out again.
No worries. So these two, both the steam engine and the wyvern clash and smash into each other, but nothing like neither really makes like the solid impact to damage the other. It's just you're just locked into each other, and the wyvern is like sort of straddled over the cannon now and is like grasp it with its claws, and the cannon smashes into its stomach, and its wings are sort of like battered and tattered, and the breath of this thing is just washing over both of you. What are you going to do, Tom? You have initiative.
I'm getting out of my turret.
Okay.
And I'm scrambling up onto the sort of top of the tank.
Yeah.
I've got a flask.
Yeah.
With a crossbones that is hanging from my belt around my armor.
Okay.
And I open it up and I raise it to the dragon, to the wyvern, and I say, "Here's to you, you ugly bastard." And it's full of poutine, which is basically Irish moonshine.
Jeez.
Okay.
And
I see where you're
flammable.
going with this. Cool.
I'm going to empty it into my mouth.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
This triggers a skill I have.
What's the skill, dude?
Madam McGinty has.
Yeah.
Which is called Rowdy.
Talk us through Rowdy.
Basically means, the drunker I get,
Yeah.
the better I fight, but I take damage from it.
You're drunk. It's drunken kung fu, basically.
It's basically drunken. It's basically drunken berserking.
I love it. I love it. Okay, cool. So what's your stat bonus for getting like instantly like wired and buzzed?
So I get D6 extra wounds, but then they start to decrease.
Right. Okay.
I get weapon skill plus 10.
Yeah.
Is it strength plus 1?
Right. Okay.
Um,
And toughness plus 1, I think. We talked
toughness plus 1. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So first of all, roll your d6 of how many wounds you kind of instantly get back that are going to start trickling out of you, obviously. So roll d6.
Yeah. Hang on a second. I've got 2 selected there. I just need 1.
2. Okay, so that puts you back on what, 4 wounds.
4 wounds.
Which
So I
means-
think I lose 1
You lose 1 automatically for activating, so you're down to 3. So you're 3 wounds actually.
and I lose 1 point per round.
Yeah.
That. Oh, sorry, I put
Yeah.
what's it?
So next round, if you keep being rowdy, you'll lose another wound.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty.
So yeah, and by the way, I also lift up my weapon. The weapon I have, which is on the other side of the belt, which is a rolling pin, which is studded with nails.
Nice. Okay. That's fucking like you knew. I just love the fact these things are always to hand.
Sweet.
What else have you got in? So not what you got in your pocket. What have you got in your petticoat, Tom?
Rolling pin studded with fucking nails.
Are you gonna do an attack? Are you gonna go for it or what?
Is that can I in this round? Like that's.
I think in the spirit of all these things, wind the fuck not. You got 2 attacks, I believe, on your character sheet. So I'm gonna stretch it and say you can get an attack on it. Why not?
Is it close enough that I can attack it from
Oh shit!
the top?
This thing is literally on top of the. It's like got half the steam engine smashed into its stomach, and it's smashed into the steam engine. The other dudes are going to be making wrist tests. You were in the protective turret. That's the
Okay,
only,
so
you got
having down-
everybody got slammed and like got slammed forward. But you
Alright,
were in
okay,
like a
all right. Let me
territory.
finish. Let me do this. Let me do this. Having down the poutine,
Yeah.
I throw the flask over my shoulder,
Yeah.
pull the rolling pin from my belt,
Yeah.
and charge and just run at the fucker.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So make your attack, but it's
Yelling,
plus 10.
You won't like it up, yeah.
Okay. Cool. It's plus 20 because you're charging and get a plus 10 bonus because you're rowdy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Being
Roll
rowdy.
it.
That's almost a critical success, almost. But that's great. That's a strike. That's a hit. You
Yeah.
roll your d6. Does it increase your damage as well? Did we say that as well?
I think I might have strike mighty blow as well. Let me just check. Yes, I do. I have strike mighty blow.
All right.
So
Strike my it's plus 1 onto your strike. Your deadly rolling pin strike. That's a 6. That's a critical. Holy fuck. Okay. Critical. Roll again. What was that? I can't see. It's a 5. So that's a 5. That's a 6. That's 11
5,
points
nice.
damage.
plus 1 for the strike mighty blow, so 12. Is that it? Oh, do I get another plus 1 for
Your
because
strength
of
is increased as well. What's your strength?
my strength is 5 at the moment.
So actually it's a strike of 5, 6, 11. That's 17 is the strike, is the damage.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of damage. All right, wow, that's
Yeah.
a hell of a hit. So you smash down on the snout of this thing. It's just like screaming at you. You smash it around the snout with your rolling pin, and actually something weird happens. It just sort of like its head starts like splitting in the middle, and its eyes are sort of like its eyeballs roll out. And it's just like screaming now and thrashing around. And as it does so, it actually like just sweeps its head from right to left, and just smashes straight into you. And you go flying. You literally just go flying through the air.
Okay.
And you travel, I don't know, like 20 or 30 feet. And you actually get to the edge of the side here, which is kind of like where at the edge of the chasm is. And your body just hits the deck, and then you just roll off it. And you just roll off like out into the chasm over there. And
As I fall,
yeah,
I hold out my hand and shout, "Alex!" And my parrot flies overhead, and I just see it flying away into the distance.
nice. Okay, cool. As you like fly, go bollocks like that. But you have a slow-mo motion of seeing your parrot. It's one last flight because it's an old parrot. Cool. Okay, you are now out of the go at the moment, sir. This steam engine has smashed into the Wyvern. The Wyvern smashed into the steam engine. What happened to the steam engine is that its tracks got ripped apart. So these things smashed into each other like battle bots. The Wyvern, however, is now literally like collapsing back on itself. And Bondo, you and Mary Louise, unfortunately inside, Mary Louise like is screaming a bit and is tugging at your leg because you're basically here at the top. And you braced yourself, so you were fine. But the dwarven driver has been pierced by the driving equipment, and Mary Louise is also saying there's something like a fire being broken out underneath you, Bondo. What do you want to do, sir?
Right, get out, darling. Quick, let's get out of here.
Okay, you help
Doesn't
her
look
up.
good.
You
I
help
smell
her up.
burning.
Yeah, you can definitely smell burning, and this thing is now very much on fire. What you didn't notice the last few rounds, basically, is this thing, the engine's like the engine itself.
Gone critical.
Yeah, it's totally fucked. It should never have been used. It's completely the fact that it even started is a miracle. The fact that it didn't blow up underneath you at any point is a miracle. But it's about to, is the point. So this thing's about to go critical. Yeah. What do you want to do, sir?
Get clear. Try and get the dwarf out and get clear if he's not dead already.
Okay, so my thing is just completely frozen. Great. Sorry, folks. I'm getting a little bit of a. That's really weird. Oh, I see why. That's fine. Okay, so you're gonna get clear. Okay, so you and Mary Louise do one of those like jumping, like one of those sort of like lethal weapon jumps, and both of you start landing and start running. And as you do so, the Wyvern sort of like just starts tries to rear up and puts one of its claws on top of the steam engine and just looks at you, and you turn around, both you and Mary Louise turn around and you hear this, and this thing just and just explodes in this sort of mini mushroom cloud and just blows the living fuck out of this undead creature. And this thing just cascades into the air, very much like Jaws. In the end of Jaws, when they blow up the first one, and that thing's in its mouth, and he just blows the shit out of it. It's kind of like that. And this thing just like flies into the air and then just like completely just gets destroyed and wiped out. And bits of it just fall everywhere. Yep, that's it. You sort of land on your backs. The impact blast knocks you to your backs, both of you. And you sort of get up very quickly. And you notice that a lot of these birds, these sort of like bird-like things, have started like smashing into each other, and they're flying around, but they don't have much consistency, and you're not entirely sure what's been going on, but something really weird has happened, and they're now sort of seemingly like very out of control and not very coordinated, and they're sort of smashing into each other like this and darting around. Some of the thudding to the floor, the ones on the floor like pecking at each other. They seem to be going a bit weird and mad. The heat of the blast has seared both of you. So you're definitely being affected by this heat, but you seem to have bought a moment's reprieve. None of the clouds are near you. The explosion literally shocked wave them away from you. You probably have a moment to dive into what is the only escape route now for you, is going to be this route, probably here, which is like the secret mountain pass that the pirate woman, or the mercenary type old woman, whatever she is, seemed to do.
Can we try and find her?
Yeah, you can definitely try and look for her. You're not going to have a long time.
Yeah, just I know she disappeared like stage left, but
yeah, basically,
so we have a look over.
You sort of go towards
this direction.
Yeah, you try to go around the fire, and you can't quite see where she went. You think she may have rolled off the edge of this into the chasm itself. You can't quite tell, but she definitely can't be seen anywhere. You don't know what happened to her basically, but she did get knocked by this thing quite hard. And you sort of back away from the flames. There doesn't seem to be anybody left. And Mary Louise has told you that the dwarf unfortunately got spiked. What are you going to do, Bondo?
Well, Bondo's going to have to go up into the mountains. Live to fight another day. How about you, sweetheart?
She looks at you and goes, fuck it.
Does that mean and she walk off in the other direction?
She puts her hand in yours and just gives it a little squeeze and goes, we'll be okay. We've got each other. And she gives you a little squeeze and just flatters her eyelids in a way that you just think, like that.
Aww.
Yes.
So is there anything else you want to say?
What you mean in general, or about tonight's episode?
I don't know, dude. This is like your party moment. Maybe something more poignant and heavy-whisted, full of gravitas, like the thing I sent you, like something like that. You know, just like a parting.
The thing you sent me? Hang on. Here we go. Let me find the thing you sent me. This. Oh, hang on. I see there's a this on it. Hang on. Where is it?
This is me hitting my head.
Wrong one. There we go. There we go. Well, one day I will find my friends again. We'll seek them out. We will meet again, my friends, until we are vagabonds once more.
And with that, both you and Mary Louise turn and do the littlest hobo exit up the path, or like maybe the one out of the Incredible Hulk, certain 1980s. And you start.
Oh, I thought we were going to do Morecambe and Wise.
Yeah, you can do a Morecambe and Wise ending, why not? And you start slowly walking up this path, thumbing a lift from a passing crow. And you just walk into the mountains. One last look back into this godforsaken valley, not knowing whether your friends are alive or dead, knowing that if they find you again, if you find each other again, it'll be an auspicious and lucky moment, and they'll probably take the piss out of you for a long time for abandoning them. But with that, you and Mary Louise, knowing there's only one way out of this gulf, and you see across over here scores and scores of skeletons just roaming through the valley. All of them seem to be turning very intently towards the one path that leads down to La Maison Tal. You don't feel good about this, but you know the only way that you two are going to survive is to take the only road out of this town and into the mountains itself. Maybe if you can get to the Empire, you can sweep round again and try and get back from the other side. But until that moment, all you have to worry about is each other's safety and finding a place to rest and eat. And with that, Bondo and Mary Louise Butterford disappear into the mountains and out of our story for a while. Thanks, folks. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a weird one. That was a bit of a scramble. Sorry, folks. Quite ambitious.
Epic.
That was pretty epic.
An extra bumper edition.
That was an extra bumper. I think we're all pretty tired, actually, as well.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, so, folks, just to bring up to speed, Jim has got a whole bunch of really cool, amazing life stuff happening. And he just needs a bit of time out from the game for that. So Bondo is in fact going to be out for a while. As opposed to us giving him some like daft send off, we wanted to do a really nice thing and make it like a proper reason to exit for a while. But
yeah.
So Jim, sorry, I don't mean to be taking your moment. So Jim, is there anything you'd like to say or any ideas for the future?
Just a big thank you to the fans. You've always been incredibly kind to me, so thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much to the crew. I am looking forward to getting back on this as soon as possible, but I've got some, as Neil said, some very, very big things happening in my life any day now. So, yes, fun and games. Some of the most stressful things you can do in life. Luckily, they are not the death of a parent or a divorce, so I'm good. It's all good. It's all positive stuff. But yeah, I've got some big stuff ahead.
You can say what it is, Jim, if you want. I mean, it's up to you,
you, dude. We haven't put we haven't put like a press ban on this. It's like it's your stuff. We don't want to be like outing your own.
Fair enough. I am just about to become a father again for the third time, and also just about to move house. Everything is literally happening in the next couple of days. So big stuff, and I want to try and give that the focus it deserves. And as soon as I get a calm moment, I will be back. Have no fear.
So we're gonna that's it. So that's it, folks. Jim's got an awesome responsibility again to do some stuff, and we support and love you for that. And we can't wait to see you back again, Jim. And where the Vagabonds will meet you next, who knows? But rest assured, folks, Bondo will be back at some point.
Yay, we love Bondo.
Yes.
I'm just going to save the game, because why not? So at this point, I think it's completely fair to say, once I've saved this bloody thing, I think it's safe to say that the table in 1 second, Jim, old buddy, is yours. Do with it what you will.
Flip it.
Very well. Do it!
Yay! Thanks for the community. Thanks for all the mods. Take it easy, folks. See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.